We are live at Queen's Place Amera Centre in Liverpool, Nova Scotia. Friday night action at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. It is draw, 18 action, trying to do the math here. I'm Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by Jeff Hoffert, a member of Curling Canada's high-performance coaching staff. We've got a very interesting game tonight to close out round-robin play here at Queen's Place Amera Centre. It will be Jeremy Harty from the Glencoe Cup in Calgary taking on playoff-bound Pat Simmons of Winnipeg. And we are underway in the first end. Team Harty will have the hammer. And Jeff, these are two teams that have some youth. They have some experience. Hello, Pat Simmons. And both looking to accomplish something as they wrap up the round robin here.
Yeah, and I think it's two different things for each of these teams. Team Harty hasn't found their first win yet, and we know they're athletes. We know that they're competitors. They're going to want to come out here and have a good showing. They're going to want that win. They don't want to see the 0 on their standing sheet. So they're going to be coming out firing for that. And Team Simmons still wants to be sharp going into the playoffs. We know that they've secured a spot right now, but the job isn't done for them. They've qualified for the playoffs in this event, but they haven't reached that ultimate goal of reaching the trials. So they're going to want to stay sharp going into the playoffs. So although this game won't change anything going into the playoffs, each team has their own motivation.
Team Harty, as you mentioned, with an 0-5 record coming into this. They've been in their games, though. They really have. And obviously coming out of Alberta and facing that two-headed monster with Kevin Cooey and Brendan Botcher there in Alberta, it's an uphill climb for them, but they've certainly taken strides. Team Simmons, meanwhile, this is a new lineup. Pat Simmons joined the team in the offseason, replacing Tanner Horgan at skip for that team, and we'll run down the lineups while we have a moment for Team Harty. As I said, from the Glencoe Cup in Calgary, the skip is Jeremy Harty. Vice skip, Kyler Kleibrink. He will throw last for this team, though, Kyler Kleibrink. The second, Josh Keast, and there's the lead, Curtis Goller. The coach of the team, none other than Shannon Kleibrink. That's Kyler's mom, and of course, she's an Olympic gold medalist. Bronze medalist. Let's try that again. Shannon obviously won the bronze in 2006 at Torino. Their opposition tonight, Pat Simmons. They play out of the Winnipeg Beach curling rink in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Winnipeg Beach. The skip, Pat Simmons, of course. He's a two-time Brier champion. The vice skip, Colton Lott. The second is Kyle Deering, who we're just about to see here. And the lead, Tanner Lott. Emerson Klimke is along as the alternate.
Just hack. Yep. Easy. Whoa. Hack. Yes. Whoa. Clean. Just hack. Whoa. Curl. Like hard everything. Hard on the red.
Team Simmons on a 3-game win streak, and in fact they won their morning game today, 10-1 over Team Karsten Sturmey from Edmonton.
Yeah, and as I discussed, they've been on a 3-game winning streak. They started out with 2 losses, and they've just been building as the event went on, and they're going to want to continue that moving forward because their next game is going to be a playoff game, and since they'll be the 3rd seed in their pool, it will be an elimination game. So they're going to want to keep that streak going, that momentum that they have with those 3 wins in a row going into that elimination game tomorrow evening.
And ironically, that's exactly what it's going to take, is 3 wins in a row to nail down that second available berth into the Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials. November 20th to 28th at Sasktel Centre in Saskatoon. Interesting dynamic. Obviously, Pat Simmons hadn't been active as a player the last couple seasons, but working for Curl Sask as their high-performance coordinator, and working with a lot of young teams in Saskatchewan. And this team, the other 3 players, were looking for a skip to get them at the pre-trials, and Pat Simmons is a pretty good pickup.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win for both. Pat clearly hasn't lost the fire to compete at all, and these guys, they're on the cusp of breaking out and being, one of the next big teams. And with that mentorship that Pat provides, I think it makes it a little easier. They're just learning along the way with him. And his coaching background is helpful. And not that he's the coach of this team by any means, but the knowledge that he's had over a long career, he can pass that on to this next generation.
Okay, whoa. Yep. Hard. Roll it, Kurt.
Meanwhile, this Harty team, obviously, with your work with Curling Alberta in the high-performance area, you know a lot about this team. You've seen them. I'm sure you've thrown with them and held the broom for them at practices on occasion, I'm sure. And you like what the work they're putting into this game, I'm sure.
Well, they're good, and the success they've had over the last few years speaks for itself.
That's pretty good.
Locally in Alberta, they've been outstanding. They've really made their way into the men's game, and we mentioned Botcher and Cooey, and they give them a hard time every time they play them. It's never an easy game, and so they're working at it. They're getting better, and as Al and I talked about before the game started here, this is new arena ice conditions for them. They aren't used to playing in this type of surface and this type of event, so this for them is a big learning experience, and hopefully they're taking every single thing they're learning here and they're going to use it in the rest of their careers.
There's a look at Colton Lott, who in addition to his efforts here already has a berth in the Canadian curling trials, only the mixed doubles Canadian curling trials. He and his partner Kadriana Zahedek will be playing in the Canada Inns Canadian mixed doubles trials December 28th to January 2nd in Portage-la Prairie, Manitoba, and they will be one of the favorites, Jeff.
Yeah, they're an awesome mixed doubles team. Their success has been highlighted quite a bit. They're always in contention at any tour stop for mixed doubles, and their national success has just been amazing. So if Team Simmons doesn't punch their ticket into the force curling, Colton has a pretty good chance of joining the Olympic team as the mixed doubles representative.
Kyler Kleibrink now throwing. Makes the open hit, but it is Team Simmons looking to sit 3 right now. It is Team Harty, though, with Last Rock.
Yeah, no real danger here for Team Harty yet. If they didn't have Last Rock, they'd be in trouble, but the forefoot's still pretty open, and there aren't any guards, so although Pat Simmons' team is sitting 3, it's not a huge danger for Team Harty yet.
Good control.
Well, I could find danger here, my friend.
That's your middle name, Al.
Good control.
Colton Lott won a World Cup mixed doubles event with partner Kadriana Zahedek over in Europe. It was the single year that the curling World Cup was in operation. That was a great success for them, and I believe 2 silver medals at the Canadian Championships over the years as well, including this past March at the Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles Championship in the bubble in Calgary, losing, of course, to Carrie Anderson and Brad Gushu.
If you needed any evidence of how good Colton Lott is at curling his mixed doubles success, there's nowhere to hide on a mixed doubles team. Your talents are just outlined no matter what. So yeah, he really shows his skill in shot making and in angles and calling the game. Anytime you watch their mixed doubles games, you're impressed.
There was a miss flash by Kyler Kleibrink, and that will give Team Simmons a chance to sit 4, and the force is definitely on here, and maybe even a chance at a steal.
Is the only problem?
Yeah, Teach.
No, I'm worried it might. Like, I'm worried it might be on the other side and just stay forever out there. Even if it's here, like, I guess. Yeah, okay.
Looks like this team, we mentioned at the beginning that Kyler Kleibrink was throwing last throughout the round robin, but they appear to have changed up the lineup tonight, and it will be Jeremy Harty in his usual skip rock position.
I would agree, yeah. I think that'll be close.
So if the weight's
I don't see any issue with that. I think that's a good idea. They played like that for years, where Jeremy was skipping and throwing last. So this isn't something that's new for Team Harty. And they've just made that change recently. So going back to that, to give Jeremy a chance on this surface to skip the team and throw last, I think might be smart.
And that's a team that obviously will now turn its focus to the Alberta men's scene and trying to get a trip to the Tim Hortons Brier in Lethbridge.
I like that. I think
obviously, they won't have to deal with Team Botcher at that Alberta Men's Championship, as Team Botcher will be in the Tim Hortons Brier as Team Canada. So one less mountain to climb at the Alberta Boston Pizza Cup.
Back 4. Back 8.
Yes.
Just line. It's got to come down. Okay, Pat.
So slide's a little deep, opening here for Team Harty to freeze one on there and potentially generate a skip's deuce from this situation. So first look at Jeremy Harty here.
Yeah, I would agree. Good throw.
That's looking really good. That's like all down to the bucket. That's exactly what I wanted to throw. Oh, that's good. It's going to be nice out there. That's real nice. Curled enough field, it's not really well.
Jeremy Harty now will try and see if he can use that guard in the 12-foot and use that backing. Big opportunity here potentially for Team Harty.
Yeah, if this one goes in a good spot, they can generate that skip's deuce.
Hard, guys, gotta go.
There's a yellow rock at the top of the 12-foot that can be used as a guard.
Really good. Hard, Kurt. Hard line. Hard, Kurt. Hard line.
Maybe just a little light.
Sorry, guys. I'll get there. Just got a bit tight on the.
I think we have to, even though I'd love to throw the same shot.
Yeah, steady.
Yep.
Now, suddenly big opportunity for Team Simmons.
Yeah, it's a bit of a yikes if you're a Team Harty fan right now.
Okay, so
Pat has the chance to come around that stagger at the top, and if he can put this one in a good spot, it's going to be very difficult for Team Harty to score.
Yeah, I would say draw to the button, speed. Okay, Pat.
You want to see a nice curling delivery, you watch Pat Simmons. It's just it's a beautiful thing to watch.
Pure would be the word you might use.
Okay, so I gotta take 3 feet off my last one.
Anybody who can draw the lid to win the Brier, as he did at the Saddle Dome in Calgary in 2015, you know he throws it good.
Well, you have to throw it good to even get yourself in that situation, so...
I think we're there. I thought there. T line for sure.
Just stay down.
No! I think we just want it to sit.
No!
Okay. Still there.
No! Whoa!
It's gotta sit. It's gotta sit. It's
We're
gotta
getting
sit.
close. We're just T. Stay close, Tanner.
Whoa!
Yes. Whoa, we're there. Whoa, no.
Wait on me now! Wait on me now!
No.
Yep!
Oh, jeez.
That came down a little quicker than they expected. I think they're still in good shape, but a lot more of the button available looks like for Team Harty.
I think the sweepers are just trying to figure it out right now. There was they were communicating the entire way down the sheet, but I don't think they were on the same page so much. Let's be fair, that's close. It's in the top 4. It's in the way on the out-turn side. It's forcing Jeremy to a new side, but he does have the button now, whereas if that was 1 foot further, it would have been near impossible for Team Harty to score. So
big shot, Jeremy Harty, looking at 4. Not ideal for the first end, but you put a 1 on the board right here, and it all goes away.
Line's good.
Line's good. Line's good.
Line's good. Josh ahead.
Line's good.
Wait only. Wait
Line's
only.
good.
Wait only. Right on the tee.
It's running, guys. It's running. It's running. Whoa.
It's Kurt's
Whoa.
rock. Line's perfect.
Trying to see if they can carve it in there. And
pretty close.
Pretty close.
Looks like yellow from here.
And Kyler Kleibrink will kick it off and concede the steal of 1, but if there's ever a that could have been worse situation, that was it.
Yeah, pretty good shot, really. You're throwing against a 4 and on a new path that you hadn't thrown. You threw the other side on your first one, so that's pretty good. It's funny to say that giving up a 1 steal can give the skip confidence, but that might, because he had a good throw there. That was good.
So we'll go to the second end here at Queen's Place Amera Center. It will be Team Simmons with a 1-0 lead. Team Harty will have last rock. As we close out round robin play at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. 2 men's teams, 2 women's teams will advance straight to the Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials presented by AGI. And that, of course, is the event that will decide our 4-player curling teams that will go to the Winter Olympics in February in Beijing. So a lot on the line for these teams playing tonight.
Well, we talked about how tense the actual Tim Hortons Royal of the Rings is when you're there. And I wonder what the mood's going to be like around here tomorrow. Because the carrot to get to those trials is now real for those teams that are going to be in the playoffs. So I wonder if their mood might tighten up a little bit, if they're going to really realize that if I win a couple more games, then I've booked my ticket to those trials and one step closer to being Team Canada at the Olympics.
So as noted, this is the last round robin draw. The playoffs get underway tomorrow here at Queen's Place Amera Center at 1:30 p.m. Atlantic time. TSN will be carrying the load for the rest of this event, so Jeff, you and I get to watch. 1:30 p.m. tomorrow, there will be 4 games on the ice. It's the first round of the men's and women's playoffs, and it will be the crossover games. So it'll be the first place team from Pool A playing the second place team from Pool B and vice versa in both the men's and women's sides. All the first and second place teams after pool play, they have 2 chances to advance to the Tim Hortons trials. The third place teams, they will await the losers of those games, and they have only 1 chance to get to the Tim Hortons trials. There will be 2 teams qualifying. The first of those qualifying games will take place at 7 p.m. Atlantic time tomorrow night. That game will, of course, be on TSN. And then Sunday, there will be 3 games, 3 draws on TSN, 9 a.m. Atlantic, 2 p.m. Atlantic, 7:30 p.m. Atlantic. That will be the last qualifying game to decide a team that goes to the Tim Hortons trials. So it'll be a busy weekend, and like you say, Jeff, a tense weekend.
Yeah, I'd be shocked if the players didn't realize what was going on and not so much change their behavior, but potentially just zero in a little more.
T-line.
Okay, room.
T.
Room.
Meanwhile, we talked about what Team Harty's trying to accomplish here. Obviously, this is a step in the progression, and you and I talked the other night. As much as this event is talking about determining teams for 2022 in Beijing, it's also about giving these teams a taste of what to expect as they go forward in their careers and try to qualify for 2026, 2030, etc. So this is a big step for a team like Team Harty.
Yeah, the experience you gain in a competition like this is invaluable. You take what you learn here, and now you've been to a pre-trials. You have that under your belt. So when you go to any competition from there, you have a little more confidence and a little more. We've done more in this sport, which will matter going forward. Experience does matter in curling. It's a big deal to have gone through these big events and seen what it's like.
Line, please. Okay, whoa. Please. Whoa. Right off. Back button.
It's interesting that Team Harty's coach, Shannon Kleibrink, knows a thing or two about going through the trials process. She played in a number of them, obviously, and lost a final in 1997, a memorable final. Well, they're all memorable finals, but lost that final in 1997 to Sandra Schmerler. Won the trials final in Halifax, just a couple hours north of here, against Kelly Scott in 2006 before that team went on to win bronze in Torino, and then lost the 2009 trials final to fellow Calgarian Cheryl Bernard. So Shannon Kleibrink knows what the trials process and the pressure is all about, so that's a valuable resource for this team.
What an outstanding trials record.
Yeah, you like that, eh?
It's amazing to make the final that many times and to win one. That's pretty special.
Yeah, hands up anybody who's got a bronze medal from the Olympics in any sport. It's a very, very small proportion of. Yes, it's spectacular. I just so much respect for anybody who's gotten that Olympic medal or even competed at an Olympics.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
The right to represent Canada is so coveted and so rare in curling, especially. We have so much depth in this country that if you earn the right to represent Canada at the Olympics, you have a lot to be proud of.
Kyle Deering taking aim.
Whoa! No! Whoa! Whoa!
What's going on here, Pat?
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah, right over. Go.
A lot of action on that shot.
Yeah, we have some action in this end. There's a corner guard up. We saw a center guard that was moved out of the way, but this is a pretty good situation for Team Harty right now. A bit unlucky where that other red rolled after Kyle's shot to the back of the house, being third shot. Jeremy can address these two rocks in the forefoot here and put himself in a good situation.
Okay.
I think I like this better, or that.
Okay.
This hack again?
Josh Keast will be asked to make a play on the yellow rocks in the rings.
Yep. Hard!
Just through.
Hard, you got it! Hard, Kurt!
Just through.
Hard!
Back
Gotta
low.
go! Hard!
Kurt Goller
Hard,
trying
really
to
gotta
keep
go.
this straight to get it by that yellow guard, but it will not. And let's see if they can roll it on. It won't, and it will be Team Simmons still sitting second.
Yeah, that one might have been a combination of tight and light, which isn't a good combination if you're keeping track. That was it didn't look like he had the required hack weight to make that, but it curled a little early on him as well. So
I don't mind that.
she'll get some feedback from Jeremy and
Yeah.
realize what he did.
Okay.
See anything else? Rip the back. I'm fine with the draw.
I like the draw.
I like the draw.
Yeah.
Simple body language there told them that Pat wasn't into their call. So.
Sure wasn't.
And then they were very quick to get on board with him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well done, fellas.
To it.
Line's good.
T-line. T-line. Clean. Back four.
Line. Yep. Clean.
Just
clean.
T-line.
Clean.
Easy.
Whoa. Yep. Whoa.
Bouncing it
Clean.
in.
Yep. Yep.
Just to it.
Whoa. Whoa.
Just to it.
Whoa. Right to it now.
Bouncing
Whoa.
it in.
Whoa. Heavy.
Bouncing in it.
Whoa.
Pretty good. Colton Lott, a two-time Canadian junior men's champion, both times playing with Matt Dunstone. 2016 at Stratford, Ontario, 2013 at Fort Mac.
I like out.
Kyle Deering, by the way, was a member of that 2016 team that won the gold medal. And they went on and played at the World Juniors and won a bronze medal in Copenhagen, Denmark in 2016.
So pretty good shot there by Colton. They're stacking the forefoot up with those yellows, but the center guard happens to be a red stone, so Team Harty can use it to run into that pile and spring some yellow rocks right out of there.
Hard, Kurt! Hard! Nice.
Just like that. Very nice.
Yeah, really good shot. Straight back, left the guard up, left his rock buried. It happens to be shot stone. Well thrown, well swept. Good result. Now they sit first and third in a pretty good situation here.
For no reason. Yeah. Yeah. It's just, yeah.
Smidge less.
No, it's close.
Line's good.
Yeah. To it. Easy.
Little less. I like it tighter. Yep. Yeah.
Colton Lott playing the same shot back to back.
Gotta go in.
Hard.
Will he get the same result?
Really hard.
He felt it was light out of his hand, Jeff.
Yeah, it looks like he was right.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
What that does is protect their rock that's at the edge of the top forefoot there, so which is important because third shot belongs to Team Harty at the back. So if they can protect their rock in the forefoot, that back rock may not come into play.
I'm just looking if we run the yellow and pick it off. How bad do we mess this up?
I think we stay okay. I like that shot the best.
The other shot's board. Or half.
Yeah, I like your other shot better. Open.
Yeah, we'll sit two.
Yeah.
Other option.
Even
is,
if you crotch it, it's not good.
Other option's dead on. Sit three.
Yeah, they're
Like
not
just
buried.
through it, right?
Not buried then, but yeah.
But this one's buried.
Yeah.
And they have to hit that.
Yeah.
Like if I just put this dead on.
Yeah.
But if I don't make it, then
Yeah.
it's really bad.
I kind of like this, your first call there, okay?
Okay, it's gonna open our red up.
Yeah, a little. But we'll still have Spurs second.
Kyler, by the way, he had a freak accident to begin this Canadian curling
You
pre-trials.
like this?
Was sweeping and his broom broke, And slivers of that carbon composite broom are still embedded in his arm.
He got a good souvenir from the pre-trials. He didn't intend to. That was right when the broadcast started.
There's a really good shot by Kyler Kleibrink. Very nice.
Yeah, well done. And they preserved the guards out front, preserving their shot, Stone being covered. So they knew that they had to move that yellow in order for their back rock to come into play. So well called. Good discussion those two had. They talked through a bunch of options, and I think they came up with the one that they were most likely to make and would give them the biggest upside.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why we didn't just rip that back one. Like, we gave him a huge 3 to run something back into. It didn't really make sense.
Does it seem like the front end, although they were on board with Pat's call before, I don't think they may have changed their mind on Colton's first one. I think they're talking about.
Second one there last time.
So it looks like the draw is the call here for Pat Simmons.
I like that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Line only right now.
Whoa, then.
Easy.
Whoa, then.
Easy, heavy. Back.
Close.
T-line.
Whoa.
Back 4.
Whoa.
No, heavy. Back 8. It's got to sit.
Yes, we got it.
Line only. We just want it to sit. It's heavy. We got to sit for shot.
That's going to grind to a halt at the back 12, and it still will be. Looks like Team Kleibrink. Are they second? What do you think, Jeff?
It looks yellow to me. I think it's really close, but that yellow stone, that it is available. There's nothing guarding it, so they, even if it's close, they can play off of it just to make sure. This is only Skip's first stone, though, so they might bide their time with that and try to put one in a good situation, blocking the shot that Pat just attempted, another freeze or the come around. So.
Kinda, and then we're for sure. Yeah, let's make that.
First time these skips have ever faced each other in competition.
No, so they're opting to sit 3 right now. This is not a bad call at all. They're addressing it now just to make sure, and they're going to try to put the rock in a good spot with a roll.
Roll it big. Probably don't really want to nose. So overall's okay. Try and hit like a pick half. Let's make it, guys. Roll to the center, Josh.
You heard the call. Roll to the center. Sit 3. That'd be a solid way to come back after giving up the first end steal.
Close, yeah.
Close.
Whoa.
Close. Kurt. Whoa. Kurt. Hard, Kurt.
Trying to get this to curl a little more.
Hard, roll it.
So 9-7.
Might have left a pretty juicy opportunity here to make that double and sit under cover. Unfortunate that didn't roll a little further. They talked about it. They could have overrolled that. They had more room to roll than just behind a one center guard. They have 2 center guards there, plus that corner on the other side. So the tolerance there was definitely to overroll that, opposed to leaving it exposed on the same side that it was hit on.
No. Yeah, I didn't really want to nose because then he has the same double. Yeah, we ended up rolling it. Yeah, so you can.
Would have been really flat.
Yeah.
Pat Simmons now lining up this double takeout.
Yes.
Looked tight right out of his hands, thinks Colton Lott. Gets the double, but it does roll behind the tee line, so.
Yeah, it slides a bit deep, which if it's buried, it might actually be not too bad, because there was going to be a run back for 2 from Team Harty. So the further that goes in the house, it makes the run back a bit more difficult, but it isn't fully buried, so they can get at
Gotta
it.
get to nose.
So it is a tap back for 2.
Just through, get to nose there, Josh.
And there you hear the plan from Jeremy Harty. Get to nose, just through weight.
But success for Team Simmons. What was looking like a potential 3 may only turn into a 2. So the double was made.
And it's not a gimme deuce either.
Not at all. No, this isn't. When I said it was exposed, it doesn't. Not a lot of it's exposed.
There were air quotes around exposed when he said it.
Exposed enough to make it. How's that?
That works. That works.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa.
Yep.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa, Kurt.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kurt. Whoa. Kurt, hard.
Hard, Kurt.
Hard, Kurt.
Whoa, Kurt. Whoa.
Trying to get this to curl. Should be okay.
Hard, Josh. Hard.
It's going to be enough, though. It will not. Over curled.
Yeah, maybe a case of too much on the sweep for curl there. They carved that one potentially a little more than it needed. What I didn't hear there was a communication of what the weight was as the sweepers came down. The line callers were just assuming that it was the right weight, and they called the sweep. So tough one there for Team Harty. They got their point, but that could have been more. He threw that good enough to make it, I think.
Yep. But again, that's one of those learning experiences that every team has to endure as they develop that communication piece that just a lot of casual fans might not appreciate just how important that is.
Well, yeah, because on a shot like that, especially something with that requires that kind of touch, weight and line are hand in hand, because if they would have known that maybe the weight was down a little bit, they likely wouldn't have had Curtis on the outside trying to carve that one in. Because as he got it to curl, the weight was coming off of it. So, and then they hit less of that stone than they needed to. So just another thing, you're right, Al, just another thing that they learn along the way here.
So there are 5 men's games on the ice here tonight, Friday night at Queen's Place Amera Center. Only one of them has implications for making the playoffs. It's on a sheet, unfortunately, we can't get our overhead cameras to, but you can always track the scores all the time on curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard. The game is between Team Colton Flash of Saskatoon with a 4-1 record and Team Paul Fleming of Halifax with a 3-2 record. And based on the tie-breaking scenarios, it really comes down to a simple fact. Whoever wins will make the playoffs. Colton Flash would win the pool if he wins this game, whereas Team Fleming would finish third and knock out Colton Flash based on having a head-to-head record, head-to-head advantage on them by winning this game tonight. So we'll be tracking that game for you. 1-0 Team Fleming. Team Fleming stole in the first end, and it is Team Flash with hammer in the third end. Other games tonight, we got Team Vincent Roberge from Quebec in a 2-2 tie with Team Karsten Sturmey from Edmonton. Team Sean Grassi down 1-0 to Team Pat Ferris, an Ontario-Manitoba battle there. Team Sean Grassi from Winnipeg, Team Pat Ferris from Ontario. And in the other game, we got Team Glenn Howard, who is headed to the playoffs. Stop me if you've heard that one. He gets a deuce in the second end and is up 2-0 on Team Braden Calvert of Winnipeg. Team Glenn Howard from Penetanguishene, Ontario, and continuing to do Glenn Howard things at a curling event. So in our game, it is Team Harty and Team Simmons in a 1-1 tie. We can tell you that the women's playoff picture is clean. We know who's playing, we know who's playing when, we know where they've finished. We can tell you that tomorrow in Pool A, Krista McCarville finished first with a 5-1 record from Thunder Bay. Jacqueline Harrison from Mississauga with a 5-1 record. Team Corinne Brown from Kamloops, British Columbia. We saw her win a big game last night, Jeff, over Team McCarville. They finished with a 4-2 record, so those 3 teams make the playoffs. And in Pool B, it is Team Suzanne Burt from Montague/Cornwall, Prince Edward Island. Team Mackenzie Zacharias from Altona, Manitoba. Team Sherry Anderson from Martinsville, Saskatchewan. All of them finishing with 4-2 records. But based on head-to-head records and last shot draw, it is Team Burt finishing first, Team Zacharias finishing second, Team Sherry Anderson finishing third. So tomorrow, 2 o'clock or 1:30 p.m., pardon me, Atlantic time, 12:30 Eastern, it will be Team McCarville taking on Team Zacharias and Team Harrison playing Team Burt in the first round of our playoffs.
that top 2 spot is so huge because you do get that second chance. If you happen to slip up in that first game, it sends you to the other bracket where the third place teams are waiting to play you. So it was a big deal to finish in that top 2.
So Team Harty once again getting some stones in there in scoring position. They're sitting 2.
Yeah, unfortunately the 2 that are in the house aren't quite buried. They're just a little off to the side away from that center line. This will allow Team Simmons to, I think the call is to get underneath, get a little across the face on this stone and roll towards the center line.
I'll correct myself. I said Jacqueline Harrison's from Mississauga. They are in fact from Dundas, Ontario, near Hamilton. Kyle Deering now trying to make a play. Did he get it going a little bit? This might be on the guard.
I think so.
Just threw it tight.
Well, if there was a way to miss that shot, that was the way. Got that center guard out of there. Now Team Harty's going to try to put another guard up, but this time cover the stones that they have in the top 12 foot and top 8 foot, nibbling the 4 foot.
Hey. Line's good. Line's good. Just halfway, guys. Wait if you can. 2. Okay, wait if you can. Got to curl a bit. Kyler's rock.
2.5, 3.
Whoa, then. I don't know. No.
They would have liked that a little higher and a little more in front of the rocks there, I think.
Yeah, we're probably going to see something thrown hard either way, but now Team Simmons can make this double at the top and likely even stick their shooter somewhere in the house. They want it out of the way, but that's a mistake for sure. They wanted a guard there.
Pretty lined up for the double here for Kyle Deering.
Roll.
That'll get the job done. We talked about how the playoff positions on the women's side were locked down. Pool A in the men, and this is a Pool A game, that is clean as well. Team Horgan from Winnipeg. Tanner Horgan, who skipped the 3 members of Team Simmons prior to Pat joining the team. He has joined the team in Kingston, Ontario, that formerly was skipped by Scott McDonald, and he has that team at 6-0. And on top of Pool A, Team Jason Gunlickson from Morris, Manitoba will finish 2nd. Team Simmons will finish 3rd.
Nice.
And Pool B, that's where there's the one scenario out there. It basically comes down to Team Flash, Team Fleming, winner is in, loser is out. And the irony, of course, Jeff, that there is no tiebreakers at this event, no tiebreakers under the format. And of course, there wouldn't be any tiebreakers required anyways, it's looking like, as opposed to 4 years ago in Summerside when we had tiebreakers beginning at midnight, featuring none other than Shannon Kleibrink in one of them. She had to play one of those midnight tiebreakers in Summerside.
Every pre-trials has its own flavor, I guess, eh?
Yep.
Please. Control.
Yep. Yes! Gotta go. Really gotta go. Hard. Gotta go.
Hard.
Yeah. No, just stay on it. Watch the yellow.
So attempting to make the hit and roll there, and that one overcurls again for Team Simmons, leaving that opponent's stone nibbling the button.
We were talking about Team Tardy. You can just see them on the left side of the screen hanging over the boards and checking things out tonight. They know they'll be playing tomorrow.
Line's good.
Kyler Kleibrink being asked to throw the guard.
Okay. Josh is clean.
No,
Just,
Josh.
whoa. Just
Josh.
clean. Just clean.
Nobody.
Okay, stay close, Josh.
No.
Whoa.
Never.
Well then.
No.
Good. 16.
Maybe a hair tighter than they would have wanted, but it does the trick. It's out front there. It covers the shot stone.
It's a pinch left.
Run back now for Colton Lott.
Might just be a little high side, and it will
Good try. Good try.
not connect with the red stone in the ring. So another chance to throw the guard for Kyler Kleibrink. Now it is Jeremy Harty, for Skip Rock here in
Maybe
the...
like a foot higher than Kyler's. That's good.
There you
depth,
go, a
though,
foot
too.
higher than Kyler's
We
is
just
what they are
always
hoping
run it,
for.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, they've seen this path all end. They've tried this shot a few times, so they know where to put the broom down, and the weight will be communicated from the sweepers, so I like his chances.
Lines ahead, tight.
Kurt. Get
Hard if
line
you
fine.
can. Kurt's rock. Kurt.
Whoa, let it sit. Let it sit.
So that one found some curl. I don't think they're going to be covering the entirety of that stone that shot rock, and the depth, the height of that guard. I don't think it would matter even if it was buried. I think they'd be able to access it. So
Thank you. The other one must be in the locker room, I think.
I think the decision here for Team Simmons is where to leave their shooter after they remove the red stone.
All right, Gage.
Hack weight.
Yeah, hack weight.
Speed's okay here?
Yep, speed's nice. A little bit of movement close to center.
Yeah.
Pat Simmons in the hack, and you can see how much he can see of that rock. Pretty accessible.
Just hack.
hack. Easy. Clean.
Just hack.
Just hack.
And it is Team Simmons with hammer in this third end.
Whoa! Whoa! Straight! Whoa!
And that's pretty tasty.
Yeah, they got a little flop inside there.
Just staying on it for whip.
That's a good shot. They could have rolled away and tried to retain the blank, but that would have left Team Harty the chance to hit and roll back under that center guard.
Just hack.
The height of it would have allowed Team Simmons to get the blank anyways, but now they're going to try to get a skip's deuce if they get a mistake out of Jeremy here.
Yeah, let's remove it, and we'll just roll up and give him the blank.
So Jeremy's not going to play this one too cute. He's not going to try to get too close to that guard and get a little more of an inside flop. He's okay with just rolling open and giving him the blank. The risk isn't worth the reward here, so.
Whoa! Josh!
But he's got to make contact. It looks like they're really
hard!
trying to get this to curl to
going.
get a piece of it. And I don't believe it will. No, it doesn't.
Just got that one maybe a little quicker than he wanted to throw, and it didn't catch the curl. We saw Jeremy throw a hack waiter in the second end and was a little down on it, so maybe the adjustment was made and just a little too far the other way. So draw to the paint for Pat Simmons for 2 points.
Every skip's dream scenario.
What's that? First end line, is that the same ice? Yep. Okay.
Yeah, it looks pretty similar. Speed hasn't changed.
Chance to jump into a 3-1 lead after
Yep.
three
That
ends.
should be T-line.
And again, as we've talked about, Pat Simmons and this team really want to make sure they're playing at a high level as they get ready for tomorrow night when they will make their playoff debut here at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials.
That's real nice. There, back four. Back four.
Back four right now.
T.
Line's good. All you. Line's perfect.
I think that's looking good.
Yeah, we talk about stats and shooting percentage sometimes, and usually the skip shots are harder, so they get a little more punished on the stats because sometimes if it's not exactly perfect, they get a 0. It's shots like that for skips that make up for it a little bit. He could have put that anywhere in the paint and got a 4. So his window was larger there than pretty well any other shot that a player's going to throw through the course of an end. So skips like those ones if they're keeping track of their own numbers.
Skips always keep track of their own numbers, don't they?
Well, maybe in
some skips.
Well, whether they look at it or it's in their head, they know that they know when they've missed, and they usually remember those ones, unfortunately.
Pat Simmons entered this game shooting 82 for the week. That's 5th among skips here at the Canadian Curling Pre-Trials. Colton Flash shooting 85, leading all skips through the competition so far, followed by Glenn Howard at 84, Tyler Harty 83, tied with Tanner Horgan at 83, and Pat Simmons, as mentioned, at 82.
We're seeing lots of the playoff teams in that conversation, so there's a correlation for sure as to how good you're playing to how many wins you're getting on the standings.
We are underway here in the 4th end. Team Simmons with that deuce in the 3rd end. We'll see how Team Harty bounces back. And yeah, when you're comparing skips in this game, it's just, you know, experience means so much, and we talked about it last night, that experience. We were talking about Krista McCarville and how much her experience in a circumstance like this means, and I'm sure Pat Simmons will draw upon the same thing. You know, he's one of those guys, he's responsible for teaching young curlers. I'm not so sure he teaches them everything they know, maybe. I'm not sure he teaches them everything he knows.
Well, it'd take a while. He's forgotten more about curling than most people know, so.
Okay, line's real good.
Definitely has the pedigree to back it up a couple times. Tim Hortons Brier champion, 2014, 2015. Went to the World Championships both years. 4th place in 2014, a bronze medal in 2015 just up the road in Halifax. And you remember that 2015 Tim Hortons Brier because they entered the Brier as Team John Morris, and after 6 games they became Team Pat Simmons. And Pat Simmons took over the skipping chores and ended it off by drawing the lid with capable sweeping from Nolan Thiessen and Carter Rycroft, and Johnny Moe held the broom for that memorable game-winning shot in the extra end against Team Jacobs at the Saddle Dome.
That type of thing makes your job a little easier. Hey, Al, that's a good story. So.
Oh, yeah. It writes itself. Writes itself.
What do you think, Pat? Or you want to just...
So we talk about having someone like Pat come in and with all of his experience and how many years he's been a part of the game, but it's not just about the stuff that happens when they're on the ice. I think what having someone like Pat on your team does is teaches you how to go about your business as a curling team. It teaches you about how do we prepare for events, how do we practice, how do we set up our schedule, what does sponsorship look like, all those things that these curling teams need to go about their season. Someone like Pat would have a lot of experience in those things, and as we all know, you need money, you need a proper schedule, you need to know how to prepare in order to have any success. So it's not just about what shots you call or how to throw the curling rock. There's way more to it from an experience perspective that they can draw on from Pat.
Normal. Oh, what's it gonna do?
Yeah, it's interesting. You talk about that. You know, fans see the finished product on the ice, but man, oh man, the work that goes on behind the scenes on the warm side of the glass, particularly.
Oh yeah, it's like any sport. It's not different. You have to prepare, and you spend so much time like practicing and honing your skills in order so you can go perform when it matters in competition. This is the fun part, when you get to the competition and actually get to show off all the skills that you've built.
You got it, Josh.
Josh Keast now.
Yeah, line. Yep. Okay. Okay, well, you're by.
Back 4.
Okay. Kurt's rock now. Close, Kurt. Yep. Whoa.
It's interesting, too, you talk about a young team like Team Harty. It's almost a given that they're going to have to take some lumps along the way. Not too many good curling teams didn't take lumps along the way.
Every single curler ever took lumps along the way. There's no such thing as a you don't win every game, you don't win every event, you don't qualify in every event, especially when you're just breaking out.
That's enough ice.
Well, I think of Kevin Cooey when I was curling reporter in Calgary, and boy, oh boy, in the early 2000s, that was a guy I consider him much on the same level as a Jeremy Harty in terms of practicing and working hard at it, but running into a two-headed monster named Kevin Martin and Randy Furby. And eventually he broke through, but he didn't break through without working hard at it. And when it came in a hurry for Kevin Cooey.
Street! Hard! Yeah, just hard everything. Hard, roll. That's good.
So you see the flashing red lights. These stones are new technology, and they are being assessed during this event. They will be used at the Tim Hortons trials. They will be in effect at that event. But for here, they're being assessed, and the players are on the honor system.
Nice touch shot there from Kyle Daring. He removed the stone that was somewhat undercover around that corner, and they're trying to bring that play back to the middle, use the center guard they threw up first.
Hard. Anything, guys.
And Team Harty's trying to do the opposite. They're trying to bring the play behind the center guard, or the corner guard that they threw up.
I like board. I think that should be good. Yeah.
And, for those people who wonder about why there's a pre-trials, we talked about the development aspect, but there's a history of this event producing Olympians, and we just have to look back to 2013 to the pre-trials in Kitchener-Waterloo, and a team skipped by Brad Jacobs. Brian Fry and the Harnden brothers came out of those pre-trials and went straight to the trials and ran the table there, and a few weeks later had gold medals around their neck in Sochi. So this event can produce Olympic gold medalists.
Well, and who did they play in the final?
Johnny Moe.
Where did they come through?
Yep, the pre-trials.
Yeah. That's it. Again, it just proves to the depth of the country and how many good teams there are, and how many teams have that Olympic dream here.
So that will hang on the rings, as you saw. So a chance for Team Harty to get into the paint and sit a couple.
Line's good, guys. Room. It's all you. Line's good.
So you're going to want this one nice and high in the house and behind that corner guard.
Yep. Hard. Stay on it. Stay on it. Okay. Where you at? Okay. Close. Line's good. Kurt, just a bit. Whoa. Nice shot. Real good.
Yeah, great spot there. It's nice and high like that, so it can't be followed down and frozen out by Team Simmons. So things are looking good for a multiple score here for Team Harty.
So it will be Team Pat Simmons looking to clear that guard. It'll be Colton Lott taking a rip.
Whoa!
Almost took that one out at the back.
Yeah, so close. And if you think about how close it was at the back, imagine how close it was when he contacted the stone. It would be millimeter, if that. So nice try.
It curls off the line.
So now a chance to sit three.
Yeah, it wasn't board weight. Board weight, it's fine.
Kyler Kleibrink.
Like he hit.
Talk about bloodlines. Of course, his mom is well documented as an Olympic bronze medalist, but his mom and his dad, Rich, won a Canadian mixed championship together. Shannon was the skip. Still, to date, the only female to skip a Canadian mixed championship winner.
Let her sit. Just let it sit. Nice.
Still nice, though. Not bad.
Yeah, pretty good spot. It's hard to find a spot where there isn't a double with the way the rocks are set up in the house right now. So this is a long cross-house double that Team Simmons is lining up right now. So
No, I don't think Peel goes over the top all day.
See if Kenny can make this
I
big
can hit my
roll.
yellow, right? So
Yeah, okay.
just good normal.
Yeah.
I think this will run. It's got to run pretty straight. So good normal there.
Looks like it's almost a thick,
Come up an inch or two, and
thick
it's
half
good, I
double
think,
across
right?
the ring. At least roll it over there.
Pat Simmons will take this on.
It's good normal.
Okay.
Is there such a thing as bad normal?
if it's not normal, if it comes out either light or heavy, that's bad normal. I think good normal means just on the heavy side. If there is one side he's gonna shade towards, it'd be the heavy side.
Yep. Yep.
Yep. Really hard.
Yes!
Really hard.
Hard!
Hard.
Gotta go! Hard! Hard!
Got one.
Hard. Let's get it out, Colt.
That's really good.
And almost a couple, but that ends up in a real good spot, doesn't it?
Yeah, left the shooter in a good spot, but the outside yellow is going to help Team Harty here. You'll see on the replay where this stone rolls to. There may still be a way to squeak that other one out if you go off the outside yellow.
What turn are you throwing?
In?
Okay. You want here?
A little. Yeah.
There you see the two stones, and he'll try and hit the
Just
one
off
that's
the
off
outside
the rings first, I believe, Jeff.
I think so.
Yeah.
He could get it out the other way and
Just
use
off
that
the outside
outside one as a
first, yeah.
catcher as well, but I think the risk of jamming on the back red
there's
is
a small
is
hole.
greater if he decides to go that route.
Yeah. Good run straight there.
Jeremy Harty now.
Yeah!
You hear the sweep call right away.
Whoa! Whoa! Away!
Yep.
Hard! It's in the hole.
Yeah, so he contacted the rock that was on the rings first, and that led to jamming that back red stone.
It's an out turn hard.
And now a chance to get out of this end potentially for Team Simmons. It's not an easy double there, though.
I think he'll throw this one pretty hard. I don't think he's going to be too worried about where the shooter goes, as the blank is really likely anyways. So
Is that half a stone, I think?
he only has to move the contacted rock
Half rock
a foot.
pad, or
So
What's that?
half rock? Like you're playing the double?
No, I'm gonna safely try and make the roll.
2/3.
Okay.
Out turn, heel, and anything high, that one goes, right?
Okay.
So,
Yep. Sounds good.
So he's going to see if he can get his shooter in behind that center guard. Be a really good result if he can do that. But I think priority one is to make sure he gets those two red stones out.
clean, just clean. Just clean.
Bang, bang, and there goes the double, and looking like we'll have a throw-through blank here for
Over here, someone.
Team Jeremy Harty, and they will take hammer into the fifth end, down a pair.
Try again next end. You don't like taking one?
A brief discussion. You don't like taking one. I don't think they probably do, but
There's a pretty big smile on the face of Curtis Goller when he got asked that question. Maybe he was just testing him. Are you paying attention?
good on Jeremy for keeping the boys loose out there. Well cleaned by Curtis Goller there, too.
Well, and we talked about the fact they don't have a win yet in this competition, but I haven't noticed them taking any of these shots off or any kind of a relaxed attitude out here. As I mentioned, they're competitors. They don't want to see the 0 in front of the win column. They're out here to win this game as much. Maybe not with the exact same approach they had when they started the competition, but there's pride on the line here for these young players. So.
Well, just by virtue of getting here, they're on the radar of Curling Canada, the high-performance staff, right? I mean,
for
this
sure.
is a team that you've known about for some time, and here they are on the national stage, getting their first exposure on arena ice, and a great chance from your perspective and your fellow coaches that are here with you this week to take a look at some of those next-gen players?
Oh, it's a huge opportunity. The collection of athletes and teams that are in this event that are the future of our national team program and things that we do within the high performance program with Curling Canada. This is a lot of where that starts and a lot of where these careers will start and just go up from here. Like, this isn't the last time we'll see the players on Team Harty at all, and it's just really, really, it's a good opportunity for them and us to get to know these guys and see what the future is going to look like.
So we'll start the fifth end. It will be Team Harty with Hammer. We'll get a look at Team Simmons lead.
We want this in? Yeah.
Tanner Lott.
Yep.
And of course that's Colton's brother.
Lines a hair tight.
Yep. Easy. Yep.
Easy, guys. Easy, guys.
We're good. Oh.
Tanner's 20 years old and he's an electrician at CNE, living in East Selkirk, Manitoba.
Real nice. Huh. Okay. Good weight.
Nice weight, maybe overcurled a little bit. They would have liked that one on the center line, but Team Harty's going to try to get some rocks in play in this end. You see the corner guard go up again.
This is Curtis Goller, the lead for Team Harty. He's 24 years old. He's a test lab technologist at NCS Multistage.
All you, on my broom. Okay, right on my broom.
One of the many players in this field who's played at a Canada Winter Games, too. He played for Team Alberta. Skipped by Owen Gertson that year at the 2015 Canada Winter Games in Prince George. And there's another one of those events that serves as a huge development pipeline for the next generation of Canadian curlers.
Definitely less. I think clean early.
Okay, line
Tight.
Doesn't need to curl. Clean. Easy.
Tight.
Straight if anything, guys.
Still tight.
Clean.
You see many of these players of Pat Simmons, his teammates, they came out of a really amazing generation of Manitoba junior men's teams. They won 4 in a row Canadian Junior Men's Championships. Matt Dunstone in 2013 and 2016, sandwiched around Team Braden Calvert in 2014 right here in Liverpool, and 2015 at Stratford, Ontario. Pardon me, Corner Brook, Newfoundland, Labrador.
It's pretty remarkable when the same province can win that many times in a row because they're turning over players all the time. People are aging out. People are either they're moving for university. They're at that point in your life. There's lots of transition on those teams. So Manitoba was amazing for those years. I had the pleasure to be at a couple of those championships, and they were always the team to beat.
Nice shot, Kurt.
Nice shot, Kurt.
A little tick there, and get a couple corner guards out of it as well.
Yeah, really nice shot. Opened up the front and rolled his shooter under cover. So
Speed's good, hey?
2 for 1.
Team Simmons second, Kyle Deering. You know, we mentioned those 2013 to 2016 wins. Kyle Deering also played on the 2012 Manitoba team. Skipped that team in 2012 at Napanee, Ontario, won a bronze medal that year as well. So he's got a couple of medals hanging around his neck from his trips to the Canadian Juniors.
Well, all reports about him in 2012, I wasn't there, but I heard he was just amazing. And he was so young and so good, and everybody took notice there that I had talked to about that event, that this guy's good, and you're going to see him for a long time, and I guess that's now happened. So it was pretty easy to see, I think, but the predictions were correct.
Kyle's 25, Community Relations Officer for the Winnipeg Humane Society.
Yep. Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Yep. Whoa. Whoa, skirt, roll.
Oh, good try.
Just nudged it. Good throw.
Whoa, skirt, roll.
You'll see just how close that was. Unfortunately, it nudged it closer to the button, and also left a bit of a center guard up there. It's off center on the other side, but Team Simmons is going to have a chance to block that stone off. It's in such a good spot.
The guard either.
Not too many ways to get at it.
Yeah.
No, the entire,
Just bite the 8-foot.
what we would
right?
call the clockwise rotation side is blocked off by corner guards.
You know,
Trying
you can
my
call
best,
it an
Al.
intern there too, if you want. I mean,
Well, I get it from you every time I do that, so
I just know Bill Sherhart's watching, so
we got a lot of respect for Bill in this booth. So
Line's good.
Line's good.
Easy. Not
top
too
eight,
deep,
top
guys.
four.
We just
Clean.
wanted top 8.
Clean it.
Easy. No, room.
Top 8.
Just top 8.
Line's good.
Just bite the 8.
Clean. Yep.
Line's good.
Clean.
Bite the 8.
Clean.
All of you. Just wait. Just wait.
Whoa. Gotta be
Good judge, guys. Very nice.
very nice from Kyle Deering.
yeah, that one's fully undercover. What it does leave is the button stone fully exposed. So Team Harty can now remove that, or they can take the conservative approach and open up the front. But that rock is in a really good spot, so this might be the opportunity they need to take just to get it off the button. If they were to leave that alone, potentially try a rip, and then it's guarded by Team Simmons, it would be in a spot that would be good enough to steal. So I like the fact they're going to take this opportunity to move it.
Josh Keast, he's the youngster of this already young team. He's just 22, and he's an electrician in Calgary, or living in Foothills, Alberta now. Trying to get the roll, and it will stay open. A chance now for Team Simmons to sit 3, and potentially 2 of them buried.
Well, Al, I've just been given permission from Val Sweeting to say intern and outturn, and as a lefty player, I'll take that from her.
Listen, Val, I respect you, but I don't discriminate, and we're just going to we'll compliment each other. You can call them interns and outturns, and I'll feel the eyes of Bill Sherhart on me all the time, and I stick to clockwise and counterclockwise. Much respect, though, Val.
Whoa. Yeah. Very close. Yes. Straight. Straight. Oh, it's good. It's good.
Nice shot.
Hit, roll, in jail.
Fantastic. Yeah, really well done. Threw the right weight, called, made. Good, well swept. Good team shot.
There's that Colton Lott doing what he does so effectively. 26 years old. He's a carpenter at Big Carpentry, and we mentioned his mixed doubles partner, also his fiancée, Kadriana Sahedek.
So run back double attempt here from Kyler Kleibrink.
Whoa. Great.
Kyler's 26 years old, an application specialist for CNRL. Played at the Canadian Mixed Doubles, the Home Hardware Canadian Mixed Doubles, last March with Chalen Kitts, and a 2-4 record.
Yeah.
It's interesting about this team, Simmons, of course, Jeff. This is the second time that most of this team played together at the Home Hardware pre-trials. 4 years ago in Summerside, Pat was playing with Colton and Kyle. They had Rob Gordon playing lead that year. And that was basically kind of a last-minute throw-together team. 3 of them were playing together, and they asked Pat to join them, and he did. They had a 2-4 record and missed the playoffs in Summerside.
Line's good.
But yeah, I think that goes to show you how much they respect Pat and how much they think of him as a player and as someone that they want to be on their team as a teammate. I think with these guys, it's not all just mentorship and everything. I think they actually do really get along, and that's clear by having him back on the team. It obviously worked the first time, or they enjoyed it at least. So
Vice versa, too, right? I don't think Pat Simmons is going to waste his time with the guys that he doesn't think he can win with at this stage in his career.
Or he doesn't want to be around. You spend a lot of time together when you're on a curling team. There's only 4 guys, so.
Good sweep.
Well, the guard's going to go back up. The run back attempts have twice failed, so.
I guess there's still the in-off there. That's not going to be a walk in the park.
No, but it is there. You're right. Yeah, you use that if he has to later on.
Yeah, it does. And right off the center line there. Yeah.
So at the break in the Flash Fleming game, it's 1-1. Lots of blanks in that game. Team Fleming with the hammer going into the 6th end.
Reminder, you can track that game on curling.ca/scoreboard. Curling.ca/scoreboard. And as we said, the winner will go straight to the playoffs.
Another well-placed guard there
Get
by
the job
Pat
done.
Simmons. Yeah.
While we have a moment, let's give a shout out to our Canadian wheelchair curling team. Lost out in the playoffs earlier today in Beijing, China, but just a great effort from that team. And a big shout out to Mark Idison, Dennis Thiessen, Ina Forrest, John Thurston, and Kalinda Joseph, along with the program manager, Wendy Morgan, and of course a buddy of yours, the head coach of the national wheelchair team, Mick Lismore. Great effort. They had a tough time getting over there, obviously, and found out firsthand about the closed loop system that they'll be employing for the Olympics and Paralympics. But just a great effort all week from that Canadian wheelchair team.
Yeah, it's outstanding. They work so hard, and I've had the chance to spend some time with them at the Saville Centre in Edmonton, and as you alluded to, Mick Lismore being one of my best friends in the world, we spent a lot of time talking about curling and his role with the wheelchair team. He's just embraced it so much, and he just loves it. He loves his job being the head coach of that team. So it's really good to see them have some success and make the playoffs, and they're building towards that Paralympic dream they have. So it's just outstanding. So congrats to everyone involved in that program and everything that they do.
So what's the discussion here, Jeff? The options are?
Well, they can either come into the house now, they can attempt that in-off and actually get a redstone in place.
In the way, but we should have a path to.
Because if they play the run back again and make it, they're going to leave a guard up there, and that'll lead to a draw around from Team Simmons. So they are going to attempt your shot now, Al, the in-off off the outside yellow, and get shot rock, and they will leave this buried if it's made perfectly. So
As long as we're rolling in, we should have something.
Well, not just my shot, Jeff.
Well, you saw it first.
I saw it first. I will take credit.
Hit like the calf, I think. Calf is close.
This is good thinking, because if they just stayed the course and did the run back again, they'd be likely left in the same spot after Pat threw his last one. So,
but you got to make it this time, because it's not going to be there again for you.
You do, absolutely.
Yeah! Hard!
Trying to keep this online.
Keep going! Keep going!
And it's just going to go underneath. So now, big trouble. Danger Bay, as many curlers refer to this.
I thought it would back up.
Yeah, that wasn't the way to miss that shot. They needed to miss that one thick. And if it didn't make the double, at least roll it over and give them something that Team Simmons had to either deal with or that they could use later. Missing that thin was the wrong way. Now they're in big trouble.
This is going to be wild out here. This is going to get a war. I'm going to put all my body weight on. Is that enough ice?
You know, one thing you notice about this team, Kyle Deering just talks a mile a minute, and we love hearing him, but they do communicate extremely well.
Yeah, they really do.
Front end.
Well, and Kyle spent a lot of time in the house as well. He's obviously skipped, as we alluded to before, but he held the broom even at the 2016 Canadian Junior with Matt Dunstone. Kyle held the broom and Colton swept and threw third stones. So Kyle spent a lot of time as a vice skip.
Yeah.
So he's involved, and he should be. He's well suited for that.
Yeah, I think that's. Do you think like another inch?
Well,
you want to be on the 4-foot line, right?
You do.
I think it's okay. I think we just
We
got to
could
hit
go,
it for
we could go
line.
another inch.
Yeah.
One more inch.
I think we could finish it.
So weight-wise,
Oh
you
boy.
want to see T-line weight?
Yes.
I think, eh?
Yeah, throw for
Yeah.
Gotta be a hair heavier, no?
I would say top 4 weight.
Okay.
I think top 4 weight's good. Because tight guard's okay, right?
It is. He's got to run for 2, but it's not
Okay.
easy.
Let's make it good.
Throw T-line weight then. Yep.
Wasn't that a great conversation?
Yeah, it's so good to see the involvement
good,
from the
yep.
front end. Pat's asking them questions. He's taking their advice. They're doing this together as a team. There's just a lot of buy-in across the board with this team.
Yeah, I got a hair light.
Yep, go. Go ahead. Go ahead. I agree. Mine's okay. Talk to him.
Okay, please.
Yep.
Top 12.
Top 12. Yeah, top 12.
Half of the 12, guys.
Come on.
Just here.
Come on.
There.
Easy. Come on.
Easy. Easy.
Oh, it's
Oh,
way too deep.
Oh, no.
Oh, they overcooked it.
Well, Kyle said he was going to put all his body weight on it, and he might have done that, and just
How do we score?
that slide's a little too far, leaving a potential out here for Team Harty. They might try to spin this down and score. Either way, they're going to limit the damage by playing this double. What Team Simmons was making sure of there is that they outcounted the top red, so there wasn't a run back for 2 on those 2 stones that sit parallel. But when they were making sure of that, they made sure a little too well.
They made really sure.
They did, yeah.
That's a decent pass.
So it doesn't look like they're playing the double here, though.
No, it doesn't. I think they're going to try to maybe draw through that port and bounce off the back yellow and score their 1.
Yeah, I don't want to be too heavy it runs. Just T-line.
That's a tough stagger, Jeff, looking at it from this angle.
Well, if you're perfect, you'll make it. How's that?
Yeah.
Rarely was I ever perfect in my less than illustrious career, so I wouldn't know that feeling. But looking at 3 now is Jeremy Harty. Final shot of this 5th end.
Line's close.
Yeah, Kurt. Right. Whoa.
Go room. Line's good.
Yep.
Kurt's rock.
Whoa.
Line's good. Room.
Whoa.
Room. Line's
gotta
great.
win.
Kurt.
Hard.
Line's great. Kurt. Kurt, hard. Really hard, Kurt. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Hard.
Well, once again, Jeremy Harty gets his team out of a potentially devastating steal, and it is a force, or it is a single point, a steal of 1 for Pat Simmons, but it could have been worse. So it will be Team Pat Simmons taking a 4-1 lead. They will go into their 5th end break. We too will take a break. We'll be right back to Queen's Place, Amera Center in Liverpool, Nova Scotia after this.
Sweep! Sweep! Hurry! Hurry! Hard! Hurry hard! Hard! Hurry hard! 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 Yeah! Woo! We should really be curling.
One might say I was born to overcome challenges. 2 months premature, in and out of the hospital, and a heart condition. My parents call me their miracle baby. As with all survivors, I searched for my place in this world, and I found it here. This pebbled ice is where I battle now, and at only 12, I am already a 5-year veteran of this sport. I have my sights set on the Olympics. I will push hard to get there. The only size that matters in this sport is the size of your dreams.
Before there was ice, there was our hallway at home. I was always the shy, quiet kid who loved math. But when I saw math come alive in the geometry of the game, I found my passion and my voice. It's a game of precision, a game of inches. It's the equation that now defines who I am.
Welcome back to Liverpool, Nova Scotia, Queen's Place, Amera Centre. It is Friday night action, draw 18 at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. Back with you, I'm Al Cameron from Curling Canada, joined by Jeff Hoffert from Curling Canada's National High Performance Coaching Team, and we are entering sixth end action here of this men's game between Team Pat Simmons of Winnipeg Beach, Manitoba, and Team Jeremy Harty of Calgary. It's a 4-1 lead for Team Simmons. A couple of steals and a deuce in there. And it will be Team Harty with hammer in this sixth. And I always ask you this, Jeff, and we'll continue it. What would you have been saying to these teams if you were their coaches during that fifth end break?
Well, I would comment on Team Harty's attitude if I was Shannon Clybrink and commend them for how they've been in this game. They've held their heads up. They've been in some trouble, but they've also had some opportunities. And Jeremy himself made a couple of really good draws to give up 1 steals. And like you mentioned, it could have been a lot worse. So I think I would just make sure to reinforce the fact that this game does matter. And if you're working with Team Simmons, you would just really drive home that momentum and how they want to be playing when they get into their playoff game tomorrow. That the last 5 ends that they play here will potentially set the tone for the way they're going to come out tomorrow, or influence at the very least. So just make sure that you're aware of everything you're doing here in these last 5 ends for both teams.
As noted, Team Simmons will play in the playoffs tomorrow night, 7 o'clock 7:30 p.m., pardon me, Atlantic time. And we don't know who they'll play, but we know they will be playing at 7:30 tomorrow night.
Okay, Kyler's rock.
We're almost to it.
Okay. Well, line's fine on its own.
And I'll correct myself. It is, in fact, 7 o'clock tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Atlantic time, 1:30 p.m. for the first round of the playoffs Atlantic time, 7 p.m. Atlantic time, 6 p.m. Eastern. Both those draws will be televised by TSN.
Guys, it's pretty keen. Hey, keener? A little keener or like that?
14, 8, 15.
So we see the double corner guards go up for Team Harty, so they are taking a little bit more of an aggressive approach in this end. They know that they're down 4-1 now, and they need to go. They need to push now. There's 5 ends left, but they will run out of ends if they take a more conservative approach and maybe go for a blank or something like that.
Take a quick look at the percentages for both teams through 5 ends. Team Simmons shooting 85% as a team. Tanner Lott at 90%. Kyle Daring at 88. Colton Lott at 73. Pat Simmons, the savvy veteran, at 90. For Team Harty, Curtis Goler at lead, 95%. But Josh O'Keefe at 63, Kyler Clybrink at 60, Jeremy Harty at 56. I think a reflection of some of the tough shots he's had, too.
Well, it's not necessarily fair. And I spoke about that when Pat got to draw the entire house for 1 point, how easy that is. But other times, Jeremy's draws for 1 have been incredibly difficult. Nice shot there, almost.
And again, that's kind of the story of their night. Just half an inch, if that, off from being an amazing shot.
Yeah, if both of those yellows leave town, we're talking about a great shot. And he was so close on the contact rock to hit 2 other rocks and be that close. But yeah, getting back to Jeremy Harty's stones there, he gets zeros for not making those and giving up a steal, whereas if he played any other position and he was that close on a draw, he'd at worst get a 3. So it does reflect a little differently when you do look at numbers at the skip position.
That's why Skip gets the big bucks, right?
Apparently, yeah.
Whoa, that. Clean. Whoa, T's too deep, guys. Top four, yep. Yes. Fight top four. Go.
Nice throw there by Kyle Deering. And the run back will be called again.
Well, he sent it straight back last time, and if he does that again, I think the results will be a little better even.
Yep. Hard.
Shot.
Yeah, 2 great throws there from Josh Keese. Those aren't the shortest run backs he's ever seen, and he made contact on both, and a really good result there. He actually left his shooter in the position to act as a corner guard. So good pair there.
Just like a tight one in there. Yeah, he made a nice shot.
Now I'm going to go back on what I said. It is, in fact, 7:30. I thought so. There'd been a couple documents floating around, and TSN's broadcast time kind of dictated this decision to put it at 7:30. So the evening playoff game, finally, we can confirm 7:30 Atlantic time, 6:30 Eastern time on TSN. Apologies for the confusion there.
Yeah, tight.
Line's good. Half. Doesn't need the curl. Whoa. Really going.
Halfway. High.
Easy.
High.
Let us split off this.
High.
Unless you can touch the red.
No, we can.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that went.
So the Yellowstone on the 8-foot is fully under cover now. You see a freeze call here on the corner.
I think that just grabbed
The key here for Team Harty, if they freeze to the stone, is to remain shot rock, or at least maintain an angle on that Yellowstone that they can get at it later.
Okay, line's good. Line's good.
really good.
Just top 4. Gotta be 4 foot. On my broom. Well then. Whoa, Josh is off. Whoa. Okay. Okay, put it on it. Line's good. Yep. Nice shot.
Very well managed by Team Harty.
Perfect. Yeah, that's it's frozen to that yellow stone, which will make it harder to remove if there ever is the chance to remove it, and it's also shot rock. Really well done.
Yeah, 14-3.
So the old follow it down here from Team Simmons, they want to do the exact same thing that Team Harty was just able to achieve.
Team! Top four! Top four! Team! Running.
It's
Running.
coming.
Running.
Wait, skid.
Please, yeah.
To it.
Team! Yes! Yes! Yes!
There's the sweep call from Pat Simmons.
Hard! Come on, hard line! Hard! Hard! Gotta keep it there! Go, 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 go!
And I think it overcurled just a bit, and it will leave Team Harty sitting shot stone.
Yeah, it's a really nice freeze, but they were calling hard line, and they did lose the line a little bit because, as you can see, red is still shot.
Don't think we can get shot behind the corners ever.
So with that scoring zone being closed off, with those rocks so close to the 4 foot, the decision on where this can go is now taking some time because they can't put it behind their corner guards as we see them on the left side here and be shot. So it would be essentially a waste of a rock. So they need to maybe put one on top here.
Yeah, we'd be open a piece, so then he just hits it.
Yeah. At least it distracts them.
Yeah.
But it's
They
like,
don't have a lot right here.
they know it gets a little rough for us.
So do we put one then above it?
Like maybe we just do this.
Yeah, then he sends a ripper and it stays. Yeah, yeah, like right there.
Let him put it on for us.
Yeah, just like a little bit buried so he can't flip under.
Okay. It's kind of a little bit of a guard, but in the house.
So they're talking about this the right way. They're talking about what their opponent's going to do after the shot that they throw comes to rest. And that's smart. You always have to be worried about what's coming after you're done throwing, as well as making the shot you need to make, and because there's more rocks to come in the end. So the plan here is to put this one a little under that yellow guard, but accessible, and they're expecting their opponent to come and smash it into the pile that currently exists.
Line's good.
Top 12, top 8.
Would Simmons ever just throw a guard and say, take your one and we'll take hammer?
He might, for sure. It'd be a little risky at this point to do that, but
Maybe a little deeper than they thought. Pretty good, though.
Tight center guard.
I mean, it can't be too deep, but yeah, if we could ever, like, that's gonna be hard call. No,
you're so smart, Al, you know?
That's twice I've predicted a shot tonight. Holy smokes.
Which is good.
Must have been those clams we enjoyed at Lane's Privateer Inn tonight before the game.
Absolutely, it's making you smarter.
And that cheers you just heard is for Team Paul Fleming, just making a big shot to score 3 and take a 4-1 lead on Team Colton Flash. And as we said, winner of that game goes to the playoffs. The loser is eliminated.
High, like, you know what I mean? Like, to stay in the hole, it's got to be fairly high.
How deep you went there?
Well, just past those other guards, right? Just biting center line.
So the guard is the call here, and this has to be pretty good to not leave any road in for Team Harty to get a second point in there. If this is it all off, it could leave an avenue for them to put another one in and create an even bigger score within that 4-foot circle.
High!
Halfway! Tight!
Right here, guys. Half!
To your broom!
Whoa!
To your broom!
Half!
Whoa!
Tight half!
Okay, we're right to your broom.
Whoa!
Just let it sit.
That's it.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's half.
Let it die! Let it die! Whoa!
Okay. Right back.
Well,
I think they've left an avenue there for Team Harty to draw through and sit too buried at this point.
I didn't love the guard when I suggested it either, for the record, Jeff, but
Hindsight's on your side here, Al. No, that just overcurled ever so slightly, or it would have taken away this chance, but the chance does exist.
That look close to you?
to sit 2 buried.
Looks pretty close to that. I think so. I think once we're by, it'll bury. Just getting by the red. Yeah. Let's give you a good swing throw here, and I think it'll move over there. Speed's good. Okay.
So we've seen a couple times that Jeremy Harty certainly does have draw weight. He's had to draw against big numbers to cut Simmons down to 1. So he has made some draws tonight. We'll see if he can make one here and set up
Can't touch it, Kurt. Can't touch it.
a crooked number on the scoreboard for his team.
So he might have been a little in out with that throw, just out of his hand. They're calling inside sweeper Curtis Goller off.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Wait only. Wait only. Just for weight. You can go. You can go. Hard. Clean. Ready, Jared.
Really good shot. Well managed there. If the sweepers would have got on that earlier, if inside sweeper Curtis Goller would have been on that stone, it might have actually hit the outside corner guard, that high red one. So really good patience there, really good line call.
Could have just thrown it away almost.
Yeah.
Like they had nothing.
I'm trying to move up.
So it is Team Harty sitting a couple now. And Team Harty taking advantage of that guard thrown by Pat Simmons.
Make this freeze good though, and it's pretty tough too.
Yeah, that was the risk in throwing the guard. Is it potentially did provide some cover, which Team Harty has taken advantage of. Now this is a tough shot. Pat.
No good, eh?
We can't get second, eh?
You gotta.
So it looks like either a tap on that top red, or they're trying to come around the red and sit either shot or second shot.
That would be a cheeky outcome.
Well, I don't even know if it's there, because they have to clear that top corner guard that Jeremy barely got by on his, on the outside. So
see if Pat Simmons can manufacture something here. But like I said, it is Team Harty sitting a couple.
Becky!
And they're saying this is heavy.
No!
yeah, that was the problem, Rock, to get through that port, was that top one. And if you're a little heavy, we've noticed on this ice all week, it just runs very straight.
Wow. Through the guard and said wrap it around, and then
So it will be a draw for 3 for Jeremy Harty. He will need full 4-foot.
that was god awful to give up the 3 there.
Yeah. Okay. Put it on the tee, guys. Yeah.
So Jeremy Harty gets to throw almost the same shot he just threw, but the port is bigger this time.
Can't go. Gotta be off. Gotta be off. Gotta be off. Josh.
Trying to get this to curl. Wow. Will they get enough of that 4-foot? They will. Great 3 for Jeremy Harty. He didn't think it was going to get by that guard.
No, I think he might have put that out just a hair, and it was running straight on him. But they just enough to get by. That good shot.
That was good.
Yeah, they had an opportunity and they took advantage of it. That's huge. If you get a little bit of a mishap from your opponent, it's what you do with it that's important. And they saw the opportunity and took it. So huge 3 for them. Tie the game.
Don't want to give him 2. But that.
Boy, they'd love to be able to get on that plane back to Calgary with a win over Team Simmons.
Without question, yeah. That's even with 1 win, you're still not winless. You're still.
That's right. Nobody wants the collar.
No, you're still. Yeah, you don't ever want to go fully winless in an event, and you can tell by the way they're acting in this game that this means something to them.
So we'll go to the 7th end in a 4-4 tie. Team Simmons giving up a 3 in that 6th end, and fairly confident they don't want to get into a junk game again, because that may have cost them that last end.
Yeah, they made the decision to go aggressive with the guard on Pat's first one, and it just overcurled on them, which really opened the door for Team Harty to put another one in and sit 2 buried. So you can always question a call in an end, but if the shot isn't made, then it's difficult to look at the tactics opposed to the execution. So
Make it a good one.
to figure out what happened in any end, you have to look at both, and it's not always one thing. It's not, well, if we wouldn't have called that, that wouldn't have happened. Well, you called it, but you didn't make it. So that's a very it's something when you debrief games that you need to be important, not to always point to all execution or all tactics. It's usually a combination of both.
If that guard is curls a foot less, it's gold, and there's no path in really for Team Harty, is there?
It would have been tougher for sure. They might have had to play a tap, or they would have had to clear something out, or so yeah, you really have to figure out exactly what it was that went wrong at an end, or where the swing point in the end was.
It was when I suggested might they play a guard here, Jeff, and they actually played the guard. I think that's where it went south.
So that was their mistake, listening to you, Al?
Yeah. Turn your intercoms off, Team Simmons. You shouldn't be listening to me for strategy. So, 7th end, and Team Harty with a big boost of confidence. And we'll see what they can do these last 4 ends against playoff-bound Team Pat Simmons. We'll take a quick look at the other games on the ice here tonight. We just mentioned that big 3 for Team Paul Fleming from Halifax over Team Colton Flash. So it's a 4-1 lead playing the 7th end. Team Flash from Saskatoon with hammer. And the winner goes to the playoffs, loser eliminated. Team Vincent Roberge from Quebec, they're up 5-4 playing the 7th end against Team Karsten Sturmey from Edmonton. And it is Team Roberge with Last Rock. Team Sean Grassi from Winnipeg taking on Team Pat Ferris from Ontario. It's a 5-3 lead for Team Ferris in that game. And in the other game on the ice, Team Glenn Howard, Penetanguishene, Ontario, they're up 4-1 over Team Braden Calvert from Winnipeg. A deuce in the 6th end for Team Howard, giving them a little more padding. And they will be in the playoffs tomorrow, Team Howard.
Good start for Team Simmons in this end. They 2 nice come arounds made from Tanner Lott. So the Team Simmons just gave up a 3. So yes, that's not ideal. Obviously they'll be upset about that. But looking at where they're at in this game and moving forward, it's still tied, and they have the hammer. So they're essentially winning if you look at the hammer as the determining on a tie who's winning. So they have 4 ends left. They have the hammer. So they're still in a pretty good spot to win this game. So focus on that opposed to what happened there in that 6th end.
And Pat Simmons, the veteran that he is, boy, oh boy, he's given up big numbers in the past and come back strongly. So I don't think he's going to be too rattled.
Yeah, 3 isn't the biggest number he's ever given up, so I'm sure it's okay.
Kyle Deering.
Should be good. Line's good.
Line's good.
Tight.
Whoa there.
Easy then. Easy.
Line's good.
Easy. Line's good.
Whoa.
Line's real good.
Whoa, whoa,
Whoa,
whoa, nice,
guys.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
If you're joining us late, you see the red light flashing. That they're not being pulled in this event. These the new hogline handles are being assessed, evaluated, and fine-tuned, and they're working extremely well. But because they're in experimental mode, they're on the honor system here during this event. So by the honor system, the teams will pull the rocks themselves if they feel they were definitively over. And if another team has a complaint, they can call the umpires out onto the sheet to monitor the hog lines. But those red lights and green lights, they're not being used to pull rocks at this event. and they in fact will be turned off tomorrow for the playoff games that will be on TSN. So there will be no flashing lights, green or red, tomorrow.
That's good, Josh.
So another good run back there from Josh Keast. He had two well executed run backs in the sixth then, and that's the third one in a row that he's made contact on.
I want to kind of here.
Okay.
So Team Simmons is going to bring the play into the house here to try to uphold their 2 points. They're drawing to the other side of the rings that their current shot rock sits in. They want these as far apart as possible without leaving a double for Team Harty.
Line's good.
Hey, line's good. Lots of room. Yeah, make sure you're deep.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Go ahead.
Make sure you're deep. Gotta go.
We're just evening them up.
You gotta go.
The lot boys working together on this stone.
Gotta go. Hard, guys. Keep going. Keep going.
Hard,
Get it even.
hard.
Get it even.
Hard.
Keep going. Keep going. Go.
I'll stop.
Good sweeping, guys. Oh, that's stiff.
So that path that Kyle threw down there surprised him. He was expecting it to be faster, and that was the comment, that's stiff. It's just a little slower than he anticipated. Unfortunately for Team Simmons, that does leave a double, which will be attempted here by Kyler Kleibrink.
Close. Whoa.
Never. No.
Whoa, Kurt.
Sense.
Okay.
Just a little thick.
Yeah, a little thick, and it still leaves yellow shot stone.
Boy, you're pretty confident.
Thanks.
Sense. Okay.
I think I agree with you, but I'm not going to say 100% I do either.
Yeah.
Make the run double.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think it'll be measurable by the end anyways.
No, I think these ones might be in different spots by the time we're all done here.
Hey, buddy. Should be a good spot, I would think.
Colton Lott now will line up this
I'm thinking maybe just a touch less.
hit.
Oh, no, quite a bit.
Okay, Colt.
Just control.
Clean. Whoa.
Almost reminds me of BJ Neufeld the way he throws that rock.
He's from Manitoba.
Yeah. Reminds me of every toe slider ever.
Yeah.
But a lot of BJ the way he gets his head so low behind the stone and just pops it at the end.
Yeah, it's the vision from there is really good. You can see exactly the path that his stone is on. Think about it that way, it makes a lot of sense.
Good shot.
Good result. Those are even now. The double's very tough if it's there at all, and really nice control on that shot. Nice weight. Swept it well. Objective achieved.
Just control.
Yeah.
So hit and roll back here from Team Harty. They're going to try to roll under
Running a hair straight.
the yellow rock that sits behind the two corners, the two red corners.
Whoa. Whoa.
Kurt.
Whoa.
Close.
Josh.
Yep.
Hard, Josh.
Hard. Hard.
Whoa.
Hard.
Yeah.
Hard. Hard. No roll.
You know, we talked at the top of the broadcast that Team Harty was playing essentially its first event on arena ice. And in talking to Shannon Kleibrink after their first game, she'd mentioned they almost were like deer in the headlights playing on arena ice. And, you know, to a casual fan, it's still frozen ice and the rings are 12 feet, 8 feet, 4 feet. Why is there such a profound difference between arena ice and club ice?
Well, first of all, club ice usually doesn't curl this much. It's straighter, but the paths are different on arena ice. It's sometimes faster in different spots than it may be at your club. And it's a combination of the rocks and the ice. The rocks are different on this surface as well. They're going to be sharper. They're going to be more weight sensitive. They'll go straighter with hits, and they'll curl more with draws. So it's just getting used to those certain things.
That's nice.
And that takes a long time to develop that prowess on arena ice. So it's understandable that things were a little challenging for Team Harty in this event so far.
No! Still there for weight. Tap it frozen.
No.
That might go by. It does. And suddenly
Okay.
Team Harty
Good try.
has a chance to sit a couple.
Yeah, it was the hit and roll set that up. Kyler's hit and roll is really well done, and that shot was very close. It just under-curled a little bit. If they would have gotten more of the rock they were tapping, it would have stayed on a better angle and tapped or sat frozen on that back red. So
Control? Yeah. Just control, flip under. Just got to get like half buried. So. I think I know both. Yeah. I like that. Yeah, I like this. This way it doesn't have to cross the line. The other one's dead wild. We get a little thin, it's fine. We're rolling over there. Yeah, just control. Yeah.
We're talking about the skips, the players before. We didn't tell you about the skips. Jeremy is 26 years old. He's a senior associate at RSM Canada. Living in Calgary, and his partner is none other than Kayla Skurlik, who's won Alberta juniors in the past and a pretty high-end curler on the Alberta women's scene right now. Is that going to stick around for shot? It will not.
Over the top. So just hit that a little too thin, leaving the... Now there's an opportunity for Team Simmons to put one in there behind these corners. Shot rock above the tee line, if they elect to.
Yeah, about there.
They're eyeing up coming off the outside red and making a double on the reds and sitting two that way.
Yeah, pretty tight. I think the wrap's good.
So the shot they were talking about is coming in and hitting this one here maybe, and that would spring this red out this way, this red out this way, and their shooter might spin somewhere like here and they might end up buried, but they haven't elected to do that. They're going to try which is potentially the easier shot, that's the come around.
Yeah, I'd say about that.
We'll get a look at Pat Simmons, 46 years old.
He did. He threw it.
Now the director of high performance at Curl Sask, as we mentioned, formerly a chiropractor, and there was lots of times when he'd be in a dressing room cracking a couple backs for some of his rivals at Grand Slam events.
Well, he can't help being a nice guy. So.
Yep, he is truly one of the nice guys in curling on top of everything else. On top of being just a superb athlete who's been at the Brier 9 times in the past and won a couple of them.
Yeah, what he's doing in Saskatchewan, I think, is special, and it's gonna be special for a long time. He's developing some really cool things there, and the curlers in Saskatchewan are benefiting from him in that position big time.
Easy. Gotta be here. Yep, we're right there.
You're gonna be shot.
Come on. Wait, skid.
Go. Gotta go. Keep going.
That's good.
Very nice throw, very nicely judged by that front end.
Yeah, excellent shot. Shot rock, nice and high in the house.
And this is a dilemma.
Yeah, where that yellow rock stopped high in the house like that, it doesn't allow Team Harty to come and freeze to it. It'd be super difficult to freeze on a corner of that and try to remain shot stone.
Hang anywhere high, it's 3.
Is the double there though? Or am I?
If he can see enough of it, if it's available around that
maybe
that
not.
corner, it
Yeah.
might. I think it did curl enough that it's fully buried.
So they will call the timeout and bring Shannon Kleibrink out to the ice and have a discussion with the 2006 Olympic bronze medalist for Canada.
Yeah. You have to make but at least it's a tougher shot. And if I send it right into the nose, what do you think?
Seen this if this might happen and then he just goes for 2.
2, yeah. Well, it's just if I ever roll to here. Yeah. It curls there.
With
but
back 12, you can hit quite a bit.
No, I don't like that because if we there, it's 3, right? If we show him anything.
He just draws back 2.
Yeah, that's a bit risky too. They're all risky, I guess.
The 5? Like here? It's there, but if you leave half, it's just for me, but. Yeah.
Yeah, like even. Yeah. I'd rather make that than something in the middle. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, it could be bad. Yeah, it's very risky either way.
I'm leaning more towards that.
Okay, I like this.
But if we're by with enough room, it's 3.
Yeah, it'll bury so hard there if we get by.
So Jeremy's asked to execute another very precise draw. There's lots of risk, as they pointed out, that if they do leave this a little open, it'll be a double for 3 for Team Simmons. So pretty small window, pretty small area for Jeremy to put this one, but if he executes a really perfect draw here, he could get them out of trouble.
We talked about Pat Simmons and the work he's doing for Curl Sask. Great to see Shannon Clybrink also working for a member association. She works for Curling Alberta, the Director of Community Curling Center Development. So she's working alongside all those great curling centers in Alberta and making sure they're strong and thriving.
Yeah, it's so cool to see people taking jobs in curling and giving back to the member associations that have helped them over the years. I get the pleasure of working with Curling Alberta alongside Shannon, and it's just so awesome to have people like her involved.
We're over curled.
Rock is underway, but I don't know that it's going to get to the spot they'd hoped.
It's just drawing button, yeah. Yeah, 15-2.
Just a little light. And it will be an open draw for a couple for Pat Simmons.
Sorry.
That was a tough shot. That was asking a lot to put it behind that yellow dead buried without leaving them something better for the 3 points. And he took away maybe something risky that Team Simmons would have played, but I think they were always drawing the button for 2. That broom went down really fast, so.
So a nice chance for a bounce back for Team Pat Simmons after giving up that 3 ball in the 6th end. Here is a draw for 2. Just need to bite the forefoot.
Good. Real close. Tight. Yeah, I don't think we can hurt it. Yep.
Hey, line's okay.
Yep. Keep going. Easy.
You guys,
we're good. We're good. We're good.
Rush us down. Rush us down.
We're T-line. We're dead T. We're dead T-line. It's real nice. Thanks, Pat.
And called and made, and it is a deuce. Put 2 on the board for Team Pat Simmons.
Good end.
And they will take a 6-4 lead into this 8th end.
Oh, and it's perfect.
Friday night action at the 2021 Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. Queen's Place, Amera Center here in Liverpool. While we have a minute, Jeff, let's just give a big shout out to the crew. The host committee, headed by Greg Thorburn here in Liverpool, has done an outstanding job. And the community has just embraced this event. Amazingly, we didn't know that they'd be able to sell tickets up until about a month ago, and they got the permission from the Nova Scotia government to put people in the stands, and they've done so in a very, very safe, responsible way. Temperature checks all around the building, hand sanitizing stations, required masking, proof of double vaccination required to get into the building, and everybody's been kept safe, and they've enjoyed themselves here this week. And Greg Thorburn and his crew have done a terrific job. Greg Thorburn, of course, responsible for the host committees that hosted also the 2014 Canadian Juniors right here in this same building, as well as the 2019 World Junior Championships. So congratulations to Greg and his team here in Liverpool, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, it's been pretty special to be back in an event where the fans are in the stands. The atmosphere is affected, and it's I know the players appreciate it. They like when they get a cheer or a clap after a good shot is made, and it's just it's the atmosphere of curling, having fans around and having the buzz around an event, and it's just really nice after all that's happened over the last 18 months to be a part of something like this.
Team Pat Simmons with the deuce in the last end, and they put the first shot on the button, and we'll see if Team Jeremy Harty can come back and generate a deuce, if not more, of their own.
Squeeze that thing one-sided. Good.
Corner guard goes up. Center guard to follow here, being asked of Tanner Lott.
I notice on the old Macintosh laptop clock that it's 10 o'clock Atlantic time approximately, which means we're just minutes away from things getting underway at Lacombe tonight. The Lacombe Curling Club in Alberta hosting the America's Zone Challenge as Team Brendan Botcher representing Team Canada will take on teams from Brazil and Mexico. It'll be a double round robin at that Lacombe Curling Club. They are sold out tonight, sold out for a couple games for Team Canada.
I think it's 3 draws they have that are sold out.
Congratulations to Central Alberta for making that happen. And
that 14-8-ish or slower?
Team Canada looking to try and lock up a berth for our country in the 2022 World Men's Curling Championship in Las Vegas, and you can get all the scores from that event at curling.ca/scoreboard. Curling.ca/scoreboard. Game time in Lacombe, approximately 2 minutes away.
Yep. Hard. 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 Stay on it.
We're over curling.
Shot.
So nice freeze made there by Curtis Goller. They put up the corner guard and then they elected to freeze. I think they don't want to give Team Simmons the opportunity to stack 2 on them. 1 top button, 1 top 4. So they elect to put their freeze there first, and then now we may see a series of freezes in a row. And first attempted here by Kyle Daring.
Okay, easy. I think we're there, right?
Easy.
Easy.
Back 4.
Whoa. The line's getting good. Easy, Tanner.
Yes.
Yes. Gotta go.
Oh, it's gotta go.
Gotta go, guys.
Hard, guys.
Don't lose it. Gotta go.
Hard.
Gotta go.
Whoa. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. Just.
And that did come in, and it's a yellow sandwich, or I guess a red sandwich with yellow bread.
Yeah, it over-curled on them a little bit. When it started to go, it really cut hard, and they wanted to keep that on the high side to maintain the angle on the red. So if that was struck later by another stone, it would spring the red free.
Yeah.
As you put it, the red sandwich, that red's unlikely to go anywhere at this point.
Whoa.
Bouncing.
Yeah. Whoa.
Back 1.
Whoa. Kai, hard guy. Whoa. Oh. Big bounce. Jeez. Okay. Good. 14-1.
So just heavy, and as we noted several times, that as soon as the weight gets up a little bit, the rocks don't curl how they're supposed to, or what they were intending to achieve. So just a little heavy
Play the double.
on the undercurl. It left that rock in not the greatest spot for Team Harty.
Like even if we kick this one, right?
Okay.
This is gonna sit right here.
So like.
What weight do you like?
Well, how much am I hit? Like half a rock?
No, like. Wow.
Well, then just normal.
The best shot is right here, right?
Okay. Like I could throw control or normal. I don't mind.
Throw control.
Yeah, I like that. Let's try and get to the inside. Do you think this will curl a 10?
It should be the same. Yeah.
Maybe a little more ice, or that's good. Yeah, that's good, Pat. Yeah, that's good.
They're all on the same page.
Solid.
Close.
Clean.
Close.
Whoa. Clean.
Close, yes. Yes.
Whoa.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Whoa. It's real good.
Oh my.
Great shot. That's exactly where they wanted to leave that. Now they have the angle on the red, and if that yellow is contacted at any point, they might lose their back yellow, but that red will spring out for sure. Great shot.
Or just run it.
Yeah, what are you seeing best?
Like if we can get there,
push that a little bit, but
Sure. Yeah. I don't think we need to blow it completely up unless we're gonna miss the shot.
yeah. We gotta
In, you probably never.
we gotta
you're in
cross
high.
nose, yeah. For outside nose, we're dead.
You could get this 3 to here.
Yeah.
Rub there, you're golden, right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Even if it comes off our red. And
Yeah,
as
that's
long
fine.
As it gets there,
Yeah, as long as ours doesn't bounce open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like T-line, same
Yeah.
weight.
Yeah.
So you're going to throw a tap here. They're going to just kind of jiggle around the rocks that are sitting in the top 4 foot and top 8 foot there.
T-line, back 4 weight.
So just to move that yellow that was just delivered by Kyle Daring, move that back and potentially create a little bit of a wall behind the red that's there, leaving their shooter with a bit of an angle on that top
Back
yellow.
4, back 8.
Well,
Josh Keast's last shot of this 8th end.
Kurt. Hard, Kurt. Hard, Kurt.
Back 12.
Hard, gotta go.
Still back 12.
Hard.
Okay.
Okay.
Which one do you want first?
So not exactly what they were looking for. Again, I think they called for back 4 weight, and as the sweepers told us, that was back 12. So another example of the weight being up a little bit and the rock not curling how they thought it would.
Think right here.
So that's not a case of the thrower being wide or putting it out. It's just simply throwing it harder than they intended to.
Picked or something, like it did whatever it did.
Quick update on that big game between Team Flash and Team Fleming. It is a 4-2 lead now. Team Fleming, they have Hammer and that 2-point lead playing the 8th end. And we're just getting into skip rocks here, and we'll keep you up to date on that game. Winner goes into the playoffs.
Yeah.
Loser is eliminated.
T-line.
Play that. Yeah.
Top 4.
Gotta go line.
Top 4.
Really gotta go. Gotta go, guys.
It's light. Light.
Okay, whoa.
Bouncing.
Yep. Little bounce. Go. It's not bad.
Still open her up. Let's rip those two.
Which side of it? Probably the intern
Just a little bit
Yeah, I
light,
think
as you
so.
heard,
You
and
might even
perhaps a
stick for
chance
here.
to rip both those yellow guards out of the way.
Yeah, they'll want to bail. That tap didn't work out for Team Harty, so they're going to want to make sure they open it up. And the last thing they can afford to do right now is give up a steal down 2 at this point in the game. So this is the right call. They can open it up, bail a little bit, maybe make things a little easier for Jeremy later on when his shots come up.
Whoa. Kurt. Hard. Good.
That yellow rock is still in play, obviously. It's providing a little protection on certainly on one side.
But it's off the center line, and that's what they would have wanted to achieve there.
That's good. Yeah.
Timeout.
Team Simmons will take a timeout.
So the first instinct from Pat seemed to be a guard, and a lot of the time, you'll notice that Team Harty didn't like how they what it looked like before, and after the shot was made, they said that looks better now. So if you're Pat Simmons, you know that your opponent doesn't want that guard there, so just put it back, and that would achieve what you want to achieve, which is putting the rock in a position where your opponent doesn't want it.
What do you do if we just?
If we knows this,
It's pretty good.
this is going to be a catcher. So we're hitting this. If he knows this, and then it's just full defense. Then we're going for it.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Do you like that?
Well, I don't.
What's the other options?
Other options here. I don't love that, Colton, though, because we can't take away.
Oh, I know.
And they
That's
got
the
another
thing.
rock in the house and still this way.
Yeah, I
think
agree.
we try and nose it, though.
Yeah.
Control. Are you okay with that, or you want to be up?
You got.
I like just solid control.
So this is a scoreboard call. They have a 2-point lead right now. They don't like the fact that there's another red in the house, so they remove it, and they use the term, we're in full defense mode. They're just going to go hard for the force at this point, and it's the right thing to do. They have a 2-point lead right now. There's 3 ends to go, so they're going to do everything they can not to give up another big end.
Colton Lott now.
Firm control.
Whoa!
Little firm.
Whoa! Clean! Clean! Good.
Right on the nose, just how they called it. So it's a lonely red stone in the house right now for Team Harty.
You can blow it all up right there. Sure. Do something like that.
My shooter fly's gone.
Yeah, no, I mean, we could do like just a hit and roll with like lighter weight, or we do that.
Yeah, that hits this first, and then shooter's gone.
No, I'm oh.
Because if I nose it, it just hits the red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you seeing this? With like...
Yeah, control or
weight?
something, yeah.
Control? It leaves a lot of yellows though.
Yeah, this will be gone, this will be here somewhere.
The only other option is just tap this on the nose with like hack. Even if I do that.
Yeah.
Hair low on time. You make
Okay,
the call.
I think we better do this. Open her up a little.
So the hit and roll's been chosen by the squad. They're going to try to hit that top yellow and roll underneath the yellow that sits at the top 12 foot right now. What that will do is it'll spring the yellow that's currently shot rock away and releasing that red, which will leave it exposed, but if their shooter goes to a good spot, they might be able to use it later.
Clean. Whoa. Clean.
Close.
Yep.
Yep.
Whoa! Whoa!
Whoa.
Kurt!
Whoa. Kurt. Hard. Hard.
Hit that open red.
So that's pretty good. They open things up. They've expanded the 4 foot. Again, the reason they called the double peel before is because they wanted to make scoring easier for them, and they've done that now. They've opened things up. The 4 foot's now more accessible.
Here, though, so that double jam again, right? This double? Somewhere in here?
I think so.
It's either that or just to here.
Probably control, hey?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Yeah. It's just a little patchy with board. Probably
I
control.
like solid control as well. I was thinking maybe normal with the
Yeah, even normal's fine. Yeah, okay. Keep it firm.
So they want to hit this and roll it out of the way. They want to roll it underneath their own yellow.
Okay.
Hard to say who's shot stone. I'd say red right now, but there's a lot of bananas in there.
Yeah, there is. And after this one, there'll be even more. This red stone is completely exposed, so they'll be able to get at it without issue. And the called shot is to roll underneath.
Easy. Clean. Whoa, whoa. Clean. Whoa. 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 No. Hard.
Good shot.
So they removed the opposition stone, but didn't roll where they wanted.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I think you could make a few go away on this.
Hard.
Give you a quick update. Team Flash stole one in the 8th end. So they have cut that margin down, and it is now Team Fleming with a 4-3 lead, but still with Last Rock playing in the 9th end in that last round robin game for both of them. Winner is in the playoffs, loser eliminated.
Yeah, a lot of the time it's sticking out. I think.
A reminder, those playoff games do begin tomorrow on TSN, 1:30 Atlantic, 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and 7:30 Atlantic, 6:30 Eastern Time.
Other options really thin.
Yeah, I'm thinking firm. There's no hole. As long as I'm hitting the 3.
And then Sunday, 3 more playoff games. All 3 of them will determine qualifiers for the Tim Hortons Canadian Curling Trials. Those start at 9 a.m., 2 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. all on TSN, all Atlantic time.
Pretty thin. If it curls up there, we get the other double. Open up the 4 foot there.
So when rocks are spread out this far across the tee line, it's hard not to make a double, which is kind of what Jeremy alluded to. If he hits this thick, he'll make the double with the rock that's splitting or on the center line to the one on the far left 8 foot. If he's thin, he'll hit that center line stone and then hit the one right beside it. So Plenty of options here.
Whoa! Whoa! Josh! Josh! Hard Josh! Hard Josh!
That was tough to do, actually.
It was, yeah. It was. If he would have got any of that stone that sat touching the center line, it would have been really good. So yeah, clearly a miss, but a bad break as well. It was the one spot you couldn't be. If he curled a little more, it would have been okay. If he curled, well, a little less, he would have stuck around. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Just crossing the center line, eh? Top 12.
While we have a minute, we will tell you that our friends at IKS Live will be back on the air with us beginning November 7th at the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship in Canmore, Alberta.
Top full 12.
It'll be great to work with that team again, and just a big thanks to the whole crew. Director Bryn Hadubiak, on the cameras Sean Simmons, Scott Ballingall, and Darian Canfield. On graphics and audio, Stephen Turner and the replay man, Joel Mahawalik, and big thanks to our friends at IKS Live. Looking forward to working with you, crew, at Canmore for the Canadian Mixed Curling Championship beginning November 7th.
So Pat wants to get in the way with this stone. He wants this to be
tight.
In the top 12 or tight, just guarding the stone that currently sits as shot rock.
Keep the broom down. Never curl.
Never curl.
Line's good.
Tight. Top 12.
Line's good.
Tight. Coming down.
Right here, guys. Right here.
We're there.
Right there.
We're there.
Hard, finish it.
Finish it.
Hard, finish it.
Hard. Keep going. Keep going.
Keep going.
Very nice. That's exactly where they wanted it. That's where Colton was tapping his broom as they were coming down, and well swept to get it right on the X, right where they wanted it.
Finish it. Hard, finish it.
So it's going to be a draw looking at, I believe, 3, and a tough draw, in fact.
I don't know that he has a path in. If he was to throw his out turn, that red guard is in the way.
Have you seen any here with like back 12 weight? Yeah. This would be the easier. Either hack off that or the draw, I think.
Okay. You take your pick.
Just hack. Okay. I just don't know if the draw going, but I like the hack.
Yeah.
6-4 lead for Team Simmons.
So they're going to try to play hack weight off that yellow stone that's buried behind their red corner and spin into the forefoot to score their 1 point.
Just hack. Half rock. Yeah, you gotta just roll the touch button. I just don't know if the hole's there with how tight we were last time. Yeah. Let's make this one. Hit half rock. Just a hair more. Yeah.
Outstanding execution from Team Simmons to put Team Harty in this situation. They didn't give him an inch in this end, and super high degree of difficulty to score your 1 point here if you're Jeremy Harty.
Whoa, close.
Whoa then.
Close. Whoa. Kurt. Whoa, Josh. Hard.
Took its move.
Really hard. Keep it going. Keep it going. Roll it.
Got a chance here. Well, once again, Jeremy Harty making a big shot to cut Simmons down. That's the third time he's been looking at 3 Simmons counter and cut them down to 1.
Yeah, it's the third good shot he's made and still giving up a 1 steal. And as they managed that down the sheet, they thought it was wide, or they weren't sure it was going to curl, and then all of a sudden it took its move. And it was all of a sudden the inside sweeper, almost a panic line call to hold that straight. Kyler caught it, though. He wasn't too late on it because they almost made it, but interesting how that rock was tracking on them and then turned on itself, and they almost lost it.
We have a couple finals to report tonight. It is Vincent Roberge, Team Vincent Roberge from Quebec with a 10-6 win over Team Karsten Sturmey from Edmonton. And it was Team Pat Ferris with a 9-5 win over Team Sean Grassi. So going to this 9th end, it's a 7-4 lead for Team Simmons. But we have seen Team Harty come with a 3 when they've needed it. And we'll see if they can generate one here.
Full bore offense here from Team Harty. They realize that at this point in the game they need a big end, or else it's lights out. So they're going to throw everything they can at him in this end.
Good start for Team Botcher, we can report. Team Canada getting 6 in the first end against Team Brazil in the America's Zone Challenge in Lacombe, Alberta. So keep it up, boys. Let's get that spot in the World Championship. And of course, the last team that represented Canada in a America's Zone Challenge, that took place 4 years ago. And that took place alongside the Continental Cup in London, Ontario, and it was none other than Team Glenn Howard, whom we're seeing tonight. And they started off that America's Zone Challenge with a 7-ender against Brazil, as many may remember. So
they got one up on Botch.
Yep.
Goodbye. Just. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There. No, off. Not a ball. Good shot. That's a beauty.
Yeah, the 7 really curls.
No, you didn't want that.
My 2 is funny as well. It's curling. They did the exact same.
How's the speed there?
Probably.
So Tanner Law with another really good setup. He's at 90% tonight, and he set the tone for many of these ends for Team Simmons. Makes everything else down the lineup easier. Unfortunately, he's being outplayed by 7% by Curtis Goller, who they have him at 97% in this game. So really good play by both leads.
To me, that feels a couple feet heavy.
That's part of the reason we've seen some offense and some really interesting ends, is because they're setting it up so well to begin the end.
Throwing the 3. We're wrapping? Okay. Do you like this? I like the high guard.
Is the 3 that's curly?
No.
So there was a little bit of curling insider language. Is it the 3 that's curling? They think they have a rock that curls more than the others.
Yeah, they sometimes known as a cutter. They think that, yeah, all the rocks aren't the same. There is an art and a skill to tracking the rocks and knowing which ones do what, and knowing which rocks on the sheet are they call it better than others, but the more consistent or matched with one another. So Team Simmons found something with that 3 rock.
Keep going. Keep going. Go, 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 go. Okay, whoa.
Oh.
Get sweeping, guys.
But you always like to know which one you have if you want to really bury one.
Yeah, it's nice if you take a little more ice, maybe you can put it back a little bit, knowing and trusting that it's going to come back. Was that shot good, Al?
That was pretty solid. Even I can emphatically say that was a pretty nice job.
And usually when that happens, it leads to Josh Keast run back.
He's had to throw quite a few of these tonight, and just, again, barely missing them. He's been all around the broom, just off by half a centimeter here, half a centimeter there, and that's all it takes.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He can throw it hard, too. This one just barely on the high side. Couldn't get it to come up with sweeping, and they rely on him for that on this team, as we've noticed. He throws a lot of them.
And again, you know, we're going to talk about this team for years to come. That's a hardworking team. They're obviously very fit. They can sweep. All the pieces are there. It's just going to take reps.
Yeah, for sure. And going to more competitions and gaining experience and practice and along the way getting better at the sport of curling. That's the byproduct of all the work they put in. It just takes time. And Josh is 22 years old, so he's very young to be competing in this type of competition.
Hard. Line's good.
Pretty good weight.
Top 8. Line's good. On my broom.
See now.
Okay. Line's good on this one.
Trying to generate
14-6.
at least 2 in this end.
Yeah, they have to ignore those 2 stones in the top 4. They have to try to use that corner guard, and Without hesitation, Team Simmons will make that guard go away.
Sorry.
Yeah.
What are you seeing?
I don't know. It's just that they have a guard. Or it's,
Yeah, I don't think that they're never guarding on your first one. So let's make a good one here and then.
So the talk there is about how many guards they can play before they anticipate Team Simmons guarding the 2 stones that sit in the top 4 foot. And they think they're okay throwing one more guard here to guard their rock that sits in the 8 foot. And then at that point for Kyler's second rock, they might have to bring the play into the house and move those 2 around because they are in such a good spot.
mine's really good.
Hard, yeah, hard. Hard, Kurt, straight. Okay, curl, curl, curl. Hard, Josh. Hard. Hard. Hard, keep going. Keep going.
Keep
Keep going. Good. Nice spot.
Well done. Nice guard.
Half rock, buddy.
And their prediction was correct. The peel will happen.
And they've got the guys that can definitely throw the peels. A lot of weapons at Pat Simmons' disposal.
Well, when you throw it that hard, you can hit 15th, 16th of the rock and still roll out. It's pretty good skill to have. And there's not many guys anymore that can't throw it that hard. You look across the sheets, there's players on every single sheet that can bomb it.
There.
So no guards in play,
So right on nose.
and an ideal situation if you're Team Pat Simmons.
Things are just simpler that way. There's no guards in the way. They can throw it hard at any of the stones that are in the house, and they can attempt triples and, well, doubles, sorry. There won't be more than 2, but
At least a few feet.
so a freeze on those two top yellows is the call right now.
What are you guys thinking? You haven't said any other option.
Get rid of one yellow.
Oh. Yeah, I'm fine with that. Nose?
Try and dead nose.
Yeah.
So with this option, they're going to leave their shooter in the same spot they would have otherwise with a freeze. But if they do
I don't mind even like
hit that top yellow right on the nose, their shooter will stay there and they'll lose the back one. So there will be no longer 2 yellows to move only 1.
My ideal is we dead nose, they hit the outside one, we freeze. Are we nosing or rolling?
I think roll. If we nose, they just rip a double.
Okay.
You heard maybe earlier in last end, Kyler Kybrink mentioning to Jeremy that they didn't have a ton of time. We can't see the clocks here, but I'm sure they're respecting the fact that they need to make their calls a little quicker.
Yeah. Normal though, I think. Colton,
And those cheers you hear are for Paul Fleming. He just drew to the 4 foot, looking at 4, and needed a big sweep from his front end to get it there. In fact, they had the weight, but they were trying to sweep it to get a little bit more curl on it. And he does get it there. So.
He is fired up right now. Big exhales, and the crowd is loving him right now.
So it is a 5-3 lead now for Team Paul Fleming, but Team Flash will have the hammer coming home in the 10th end, and we can tell you Team Flash is genuinely putting on a pile of pressure these last 3 ends. We'll see how this 10th end plays out. And a reminder, you can track that score on curling.ca/scoreboard. That's curling.ca/scoreboard.
Okay, Pat.
So a hit and stay there from Pat Simmons, just over curled and rolls out. So we're left with just the 2 stones in play, the red sitting on top of the yellow, top of the forefoot.
Yeah.
And the call is
the hair on Kurt's side.
to come around that situation that sits in the top 4 foot, top 8 foot.
Yeah, lock it on.
So correction there, I think they actually are going to freeze to the top. I saw them talking about the come around, but I think they've elected the freeze on top. My mistake.
Yep. Yep. Hard, Josh. Really reach. Really reach.
Trying to get it there.
Hard, Josh. Hard. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Nice shot, Jer.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, very good. It's right on their own. It's going to be very difficult to get rid of both of those. It's there. These rocks are lively and the houses are fast, but we could see nothing in play after this stone comes to rest.
Yeah. That in.
And Pat, a good Saskatchewan boy, he can fling it when he needs to.
Hey, Pat, let's make her.
Yeah, this shot requires it. He's going to have to throw this one pretty hard to get that top rock to move. The middle red should go relatively easy, depending on where he hits this, but the side they've elected, it should drag and then go off the back half of that yellow and or the side of it.
Hard, 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 hard.
So just hit that a little thick. He needed to hit that thinner so it would spring the top red over. That was a very difficult shot, and I don't know that they're that upset. They'll go into the 10th end with a 1-up lead and the hammer.
Yeah. Put it on the button, guys.
So it is a draw for 2. Touch the paint is all that's needed for Jeremy Harty to get his deuce and crawl to within 1 point of Team Pat Simmons. But as he said, Jeff, Team Simmons would have hammer in this last end.
This is what Jeremy's been waiting for all game, is the entirety of the rings on his last
Same path,
one.
Guys. Same path.
Line's always good.
And there it is. Team Jeremy Harty makes the draw, and it is a deuce. And they will be down 7-6 coming into this 10th end. Their last round robin game at the Home Hardware Canadian Curling Pre-Trials. The other game on the ice, by the way, it is Team Glenn Howard getting a deuce in the 9th end to take a 6-4 lead over Team Calvert. And it is Team Calvert with the hammer coming home.
So just looking at the time that's left, Team Harty has 3 minutes and 20 seconds, and Team Simmons has 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So neither team is swimming in time, but that'll be more than enough for them to get through this last end, if they don't take too much time making decisions.
Both teams have taken 1 timeout, so I believe they have 1 more each.
Yeah, that'll be a saving grace, and depends how complicated this end gets. They might use that for strategy or just simply to give themselves more time on the last shot.
Center guard called and made by Team Simmons, or Team Harty, pardon me.
To continue Curtis Goler's outstanding game he's got going.
Might be a hair tight. Yep. Hard. Room. Clean, clean. Clean out. Yep. Clean, clean, clean.
There, we're there. We're all there.
Gotta sit. That slid nice.
Right on the lid. Deeper than they probably wanted, but that'll work.
So we've talked about that tick before, and that some people would think that's a natural place to tick, but
yeah, and it's up to them. That they've obviously discussed this, and
same path.
And they know what they're going to do. They understand.
Line's good. Kyle, yep.
Line only.
Okay, line's good. Well,
just for him.
okay, Josh is clean. The split center. Yep. Shot. Nice.
that is a tough shot.
It's true.
When,
Yeah.
when you think about what draw the lid, that's something that teams practice all the time. Draw to get it just over the hog line is really, really hard.
Well, I have a feeling Curtis practices that one. I think a lot of leads would. They know how important it is. So if we look at this setup, how it is right now, it's perfect. If you're for Team Harty, they have a tight guard and a high guard. Those are so far away. Very, very difficult to double peel. But I often talk about draw windows, and we're talking about that in the house. The draw window on that high guard is tiny.
Yeah.
It's a guard is just a light draw, really, and it's tiny. And the consequence of being at all light is terrible.
And humiliating and expensive if you got to buy
Sure.
the rounds afterwards.
Absolutely. So
Top 4.
Room. Line's good. Room.
Top 4 on its own.
Okay.
D-line.
Whoa, then whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
They don't want this rock to be heavy. They need it
Whoa, then.
in play. And just slide a little bit, but
13-8.
it's not in the best spot. But either way, Pat's going to want that middle open up, so he won't hesitate to come and rip off this guard.
Do you like you? Don't mind the out turn.
Whatever you like.
Seeing that one.
No real reason to choose either turn, and Kyle sees the out turn here, so Pat has no problem letting him decide which way he wants to send this one down the sheet. Called and made.
Yeah.
so Kyler Kleibrink
Right here.
and Jeremy
Yeah, it's
Harty
not bad.
spent some time kind of plotting out these last 5 shots at this end. And again, just one of those time-saving techniques. So they're already seeing 3 or 4 shots ahead right now.
Same line.
We're 1.
Yep. Hard. Where you at? Yep. Hard.
Gonna try to nuzzle this one right into the pocket that's created with the rock on the button and the red right beside it.
Keep going. Yep. Yeah, hard. Keep going. Lock it on.
That's good, Josh.
Good seat. Yeah. 15-6.
So good spot to leave that. The tolerance there is certainly light, and that's where that one ended up.
Another final to report. Team Howard has finished off a 6-4 win over Team Calvert. And Team Howard will enter the playoffs on a 5-game winning streak, and they lost their first game to Team Colton Flash. So Team Howard would finish first in that pool if Team Flash loses here, but if Team Flash wins, it will be Team Flash finishing first in the pool, Team Howard finishing second. But first and second, really not a lot of difference in terms of the playoff standing.
Yeah, you'll get a choice of, I believe it's rocks or practice. I think that you get the choice of between the two. So you get some type of advantage for finishing first. But it's in this kind of format, it's interesting with Team Flash. They're either first or out based on this one game. So everything, that's just how close their pool is.
Nice. Good seat.
And a nice guard thrown there. Kyler Kleibrink replaces the one that was just peeled off.
Peel executed nicely by Colton Lott. Another guard will be the call.
Same spot.
Justin.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Jeremy and Kyler went through what they're going to need to do, and they can predict what Team Simmons is going to do in reaction to the shots they call. They know that those, as soon as the guards come up, they're likely going to be peeled. So you're right, it was smart. Go through those decision-making processes before. You don't have to waste your time clock doing it.
On my broom, guys. On my broom. Line's good. Okay, go. Keep clean. Keep clean. Keep clean. Yep. Okay.
Half rock. Take your time.
Whoa.
Can I clean?
It's fine.
Another peel executed to perfection.
There for one. So that this one stays somewhere here. And, this one.
And there is a final to report. It is Team Paul Fleming recording the win over Team Colton Flash. And Team Fleming will make the playoffs, and they are celebrating on the ice. Happy group of players.
Well, they had a big day today. They won both of their games today, right, Al? They were must wins both games
against Team Harty and Team Flash, two top-end teams.
Yeah.
And they will be in the playoffs tomorrow. And Team Colton Flash, a tough way to close it out. They will miss the playoffs. As Team Paul Fleming giving the fist pump to the crowd.
Yeah, the emotion he's showing is so genuine. It's awesome to see. He's just pumped. And he made some incredible shots in the back half of this game. We saw it out of the corner of our eye. Our booth's right above that sheet. And what a display. Good for him.
And we'll just another example of the class of Paul Fleming, talking to him after his win earlier today. He was quick to point out, you know what, a big shout out to Jamie Murphy, his former skip. Jamie skipped this team to a lot of the points that got them into this event, and Jamie made the decision prior to last season that he was going to step away from curling, devote his time to family and business. And a tough decision, and Paul wanted to make it clear that they are very thankful for everything that Jamie brought to that team. And here they are going to the playoffs at the Home Hardware Canadian Curling Trials. So one sheet on the ice.
Millimeter high? Millimeter high with control.
And Team Harty is discussing its options as they try and manufacture a steal. They are sitting second shot.
Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah.
What they're going to try to do here is with control weight, they're going to run that top red into the yellow and hopefully remove both of those yellows from the forefoot. They don't have to kill them. It doesn't matter. But what they want to do is make some more space for themselves in the forefoot and potentially leave another rock on the center line above the red that they're going to hit.
Just off nose.
So just a millimeter high on that yellow stone was the call. Or sorry, the red stone at the top.
Yep.
Whoa. Close.
Whoa.
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 Yep.
Yep. Whoa. Yep. Yes.
Hard. Hard.
Whoa. Clean. Yep.
Whoa.
Clean.
Whoa.
Whoa. Clean.
Yep.
Nice shot, Jared.
Yeah, so exactly what they called. They knew they weren't going to kill that other yellow stone, and that was okay. They have some rocks surrounding the center line. They're sitting shot stone right now.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep.
Nice shot, Jared.
Well done.
Pat Simmons, his first stone of this 10th end.
And it looks like he can make a double here. If he hits what he can see of that red, he should remove both red stones.
Okay, Pat. Right on the nose.
Yep. Right on the nose. Yeah, they're about a little more than edge on edge, so he can see more than he needs to hit. So.
Yep. Yes.
Great shot, Pat.
Makes the double.
So we can tell you the playoff matchups for the men tomorrow. It'll be Team Horgan, first place in Pool A, 6-0 record, taking on Team Fleming, second place in Pool B, with a 4-2 record, and it'll be Team Howard, first place in Pool B, 5-game winning streak, taking on Team Jason Gunlickson from Morris, Manitoba, with a 4-2 record. And then Team Simmons and Team Harty, the third place finishers, will be in action in the evening draw tomorrow night.
Okay. Where did my last one end up?
We talk about momentum going into the playoffs, and you look at Team Fleming and Team Howard, just the two you discussed there, both on winning streaks going in, and some huge emotions from Team Fleming, winning huge games today to get themselves into the playoffs. They're going to be ready for tomorrow.
And of course, Team Horgan, the only unbeaten team in the men's competition, so 6-0 going into those playoffs.
Well, hard not to have momentum when you haven't lost yet.
Yeah. Last shot, Jeremy Harty.
No, line's good.
Line's good.
A little bit early.
So he needs to hide this one somewhere. Even if it's in the back forefoot, that's okay, as long as he's dead buried behind his own. And shot rock, obviously.
Really gotta go, Josh.
Hard, Josh, go!
Hard, Josh, you gotta go.
You gotta go!
Front end's working at it. Will it get there? It might be just a little light, and it is. So it will be a deuce for Team Pat Simmons to finish off a 9-6 win in the final round robin. Pardon me, it is X's. That's right. It will be a 7-6 win officially for Team Pat Simmons. And that will conclude round robin play at the 2021 Home Hardware Curling Pre-Trials presented by New Holland. On behalf of Jeff Hofford, I'm Al Cameron saying good night from Liverpool. Join us tomorrow on TSN for playoff action from Liverpool.